fucking like $50 or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Hello, everyone, and welcome to TEE TV. I am deaf, and I am not amused. Oh, God. And with me today is Stone Cold Killer and Damien, whatever the fuck. Say hello, guys.
Hello,
Good morning.
guys.
Today we're going to be discussing Final Destination franchise. I assume all the movies.
Huh? What?
Are we?
No way.
Oh, we're
Well,
not doing
because
all the movies.
I gotta be honest with you. Oh God. Okay. This
Oh,
is this is well this is well a few hours from now because right now we're only at Eastern time, 11 o'clock right now, Eastern time. So
okay.
if we get done by 1 o'clock, it's just really not even a thing. But you know what I'm saying? So if we can do that within 2 hours, I guess. But
Okay, so I guess we're just gonna do like one, maybe two movies.
maybe because you were so involved right now, and I really just got to go off. I mean, it was a roller coaster that was meant to be, but God, they just Netflix is starting to convince me they've got a gender based racism issue going on.
Okay, that's an interesting segue.
Yeah, that's a hot take. Trust me,
Yeah, I want to get into that, but I want Charles to have context for that.
yeah, I'm just saying that I just feel like I said, when I look at all the seasons of you, it's kind of I seen you and something else. It just makes me feel like Netflix has got a little bit of an they got a little let's just say they got a little bit of an issue of someone like myself.
They don't know what to do with quote unquote representation.
They I just they have a certain representation in mind. Trust me. When I
They
and it
do, but
brought
it's very confusing. It's
uh,
very confusing.
yeah, but no. When I think about Teddy and Marianne, I'm not confused. I'm not confused.
I mean, yeah, in this instance, it seems to be a very singular kind of directive. But I mean,
That's,
across the board, they seem to be confused as to what they're trying to do.
I see that we definitely could get into. We definitely could put a pin into that conversation about
Oh yeah,
confusion,
yeah.
confusion
That's,
versus intention, confusion versus clear intention. I'm on the side of clear intention when it comes to Netflix. You think confusion, I think clear intention, and I'll let you know exactly what I mean about clear intention. I will
next week,
definitely tell you
folks.
that, huh?
You next week, folks. You. We'll be getting into the into
Next
the
week,
weeds.
next week.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
We'll be getting into you next week.
yeah.
Wink, wink.
All up in there.
Oh God.
I'm sorry. It was right there. I had to.
Yes. All right. All right. Fine.
So
Fine.
many opportunities, dude. So many opportunities.
God. But I'm just telling you, man. It was if like I said. I mean, I'm not going to deny the entertainment value overall. I'm not. I'm really not.
Mm.
I'm really not. But there's just some things in there. There's some things in there, and but hold up. But are we actually discussing this week?
No, this week, Final Destination.
Yeah,
Just
this
Final
week is
Destination.
Final
Because
Destination, but I guess we're doing the first two Final Destination movies.
Oh God.
and yeah,
Okay.
I've got to be uh what do you call it? The guy who has seen the first three, but not for a long time. So I'll be that guy, whatever that guy is called.
Okay. Well, I got to contain. God, I could have chilled on you. I mean, I really went through it. I really went through it to make sure that I got it because you know it's you, man. I fucking logged in. You know that,
Yeah,
guys.
I thought it was you this week too.
Like I fucking logged in. I mean, I really because you like I said, because it's you. It's like once I start getting into those fucking episodes, I
Okay,
mean,
okay. You guys keep saying you, and it's getting super confusing right now.
Okay, we're
okay,
gonna because
how
the
about okay,
title's
no,
all
no,
caps. We're gonna
no,
emphasize it more.
no problem.
You,
No,
you
I'll
gotta
do
you
this.
gotta hit it a bit harder.
No problem. I can do it this way. Now, like you know how it becomes when it comes to the TV show, you know what I'm saying? No, better yet, you know how we are when it comes to the critically acclaimed Netflix show, you. So I got logged into the critically acclaimed Netflix show, you. You know, so that's how it is, man. So I thought this week we are going to be talking about the critically acclaimed Netflix TV show, you. So
Okay,
you
so
know,
you've confirmed. I think it was Charles that was confused. I'm not the asshole this time.
yes.
I thought so too. Well, last week technically, but things happen. But
Yeah.
okay,
And we really
good.
should. We really shouldn't contain this, man. The next, especially look, especially give us some time to really, if you want to, just give me a shot because you know what, I could compromise here. First things first. Final Destination, the original. Okay, I'm willing to get into this and I'm willing to start. And I want you guys to give me a chance to like, maybe we can do this one and talk about you a little bit. We really need to, just a little bit, because it's
No,
hard to
but
bottle
we
up the next
shouldn't.
week.
I
We
know.
we
I
really need to
know.
talk.
I've got.
It's hard to bottle up. We really need to talk just a little bit about the critically acclaimed Netflix show You.
It sounds almost worse.
Huh? I'm just saying. So, Final Destination 1. I will say that being a teenager, young teenager, when this came out, like all my
When's the first
mind.
one? Like, what year are we talking about for the first one? Like 2002 or
No,
something like that?
no.
I thought it was 2003.
What?
2003. I was close.
Wait, hold on. I'll look it up. Because
It had to have been
I'm
somewhere there,
genuinely curious.
surely.
Final Destination.
2000.
Wait, we
Oh,
were
goddamn.
both wrong?
The
Huh?
Millennium.
2000.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
man. I was just not far coming off of graduation, man. Well, I wasn't a young teen at that point, but I mean, I was still like 16, 17 at that point, but you know.
I was 9. Maybe 10, depending on when it came out.
So it's just
That was I was like just entering high school at the time.
so yeah, so this right, so that right there, I mean, it was like at that point, all I was thinking, all I was really, my brain was like locked in, and my lenses were locked into like just the plotting, the death plan, and everything like that. So I really have to say, like, taking a moment, even though I had to pay the Amazon fee to rent the movie, because I mean, but I gotta admit, it's a great movie. I mean, you can't act like people can't justify, hey, look, man, you gotta pay a little something for this movie. It's still a great fucking movie. It's not one of those things like, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those things that's held up, you know what I'm saying? It really is. So, but it was like, so it was only about like $3-4 max, maybe, you know, the rent it. But so I mean, but I got into it, but it really gave me a moment to really see, like you realize that with Devin Sauer, you know, there was really nobody else that was going to play Stan in Eminem's video. Like when you really see this movie completely, it's like, my God, that guy was always going to be Stan. There was nobody else was going to be Stan but Devin Sauer. No one else. You know, it's like you see it. It's like I'm pretty sure Eminem saw it. He was like, yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy I need for my video. You know what I'm saying? Right here. You know, because to see him, and it's just, but more than, you know, I mean, because
Wait. Was he Stan?
Yes, he was Stan.
Oh, shit.
You never knew that.
No.
Yes, he was Stan. He was the actual inspiration, the symbolic visual inspiration that would become part of the urban dictionary now.
Yeah, and a legion of fans for a certain pop artist.
Who would become Stan? And remind me, who is Stan?
Devin Sawa, who played, who played our
He was the main character in the first Final Destination, and I also believe he recently did that Chucky TV series.
He basically in Eminem's video by the name of Stan, he would be the lead character. He would be the one that was obsessed with Eminem, writing the letters, even bleaching his hair like Eminem's and everything like that before taking himself and his pregnant girlfriend, off the bridge. You know what I'm saying?
Drinking a fifth of vodka. Yeah. That's got to be one of the darkest mainstream hits of all time, right? Surely.
Very. But I mean, it's not unreal. I mean, there have been actresses and people who have been killed by people who have had this type of Delulu fixation.
Yeah.
So it's what I'm saying. So it's definitely not a thing that's like that Eminem is kind of bringing up that people had no idea about. You know what I'm saying? Rebecca Schaeffer is she's definitely the pioneering name that you think about when you think about this type of shit. At least for me, anyway. Rebecca Schaeffer is definitely a name that comes up in my mind. What are we thinking about? Stands. Dangerous Stands.
We're talking about your favorite actor ever, Jim.
Who's that?
Devin Sawa from Chucky.
Nothing wrong with Devin Sawa.
Nothing. No one says anything wrong with him, but but we're talking about, you were initially saying because he's in Final Destination, but he was also the iconic, the iconic character in Eminem's video Stan.
Well, Charles called him my favorite, so I just assumed he was razzing me.
No,
he was using his Riz to razz.
Possibly, but it's not that we were shitting on Devin Sawa or anything like that. It's just that
I'm not shitting on him. I mean, to be honest, after I saw him in Final Destination, I didn't see him in anything after that.
Idle Hands.
Wait, was he in Idle Hands?
God damn it, people! Devin would see. You know what? People get him mixed up with the other kid. You know what I'm saying? The other kid that was in Huck Finn. You know what I'm saying? They think they're the same person. It's not. Devin Sawa is not that. I forget what that kid's name was. See, because I never mixed them up. You know what I'm saying? Like people got him.
That takes me back. Huckleberry Finn.
Apparently, he was in Casper, Little Giants.
Wait, Casper. Wait, that movie with Christina Ricci?
Correct.
Exactly, and Little Giants, where he played the quarterback, where he played the golden boy quarterback said at the time.
Casper. He played actual Casper.
He played Casper before he became a ghost.
It just says Casper. I'm gonna assume the voice of Casper.
All right, hold on.
I'm looking right now. No, it's Casper in human form. Malachi Pearson was the voice of Casper McFadden as a ghost.
Okay. Let's fucking mouse behaving all weird like God. Yeah. All right. Don't mind me. I'm just complaining that my mouse is acting up.
But it's like I say, it's a weird thing because there's one kid that I can't really remember his name. People have I feel like they constantly mixed him up with this other kid and thinking that a lot of the stuff that Devin Sawa was doing that possibly this other kid did.
Talking about. He was also in Slackers. I'm thinking of movies from the day is what I'm looking at.
Yeah. He's not showing up here, Jim. Devin Sawa and Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Oh, he's in it. It's I'm looking at his wiki. What are you looking at?
I'm looking at his IMDb page.
Well, I don't know.
No, he's there. Okay. Last name on the list. It says Devin Sawa as Casper on screen. So he was there.
Let me go back. Let me see. Because I'm trying. I'm gonna try to. I'm really trying to get this other kid's name, but I cannot because I never mixed
That's
him
what I
up.
was looking for. Thank you. But then I got sidetracked by noticing there's an SLC Punk Part 2 that came out in 2016 about Heroin Bob's kid.
Is Matthew Willard or whatever the hell his name is he in it too?
Nope, just Heroin Bob, Michael Gurijan.
Like, I really need to go back and see that movie. I've only ever seen it in parts. I'm talking about the original movie. Yeah, but I've only ever seen it in parts. I've never actually seen it all the way through.
Okay, there we go. Now I'm getting to it. God damn! I just had to get my.
You're talking about
Brad Renfro.
Brad Renfro.
Brad Renfro is a motherfucker I felt like people would constantly mix up with Devin Sauer.
I know that name.
Never.
I'm trying to think of where from.
Brad Renfro, let me center in on him. He did movies like Sleepers, Bully, The Client, Apt Pupil. So he was definitely somebody who was out there too, you know what I'm saying, at a young age. You know what I'm saying?
So he was in Tom and Huck, not
Huckleberry. He was in Tom and Huck. And yeah, he was, like I said, and I think that hair back at that time, and they didn't look exactly the same, and that was a thing. But it was like, I think people used to mix them up and used to split off their movies a little bit. I think they thought that Brad Renfro was in a lot of those movies that, you know what I'm saying, that the actual fucking Devin Sauer was in.
Oh, damn. Renfro died at 25.
Died in 2025, you said?
No, at 25. The age of 25. Acute heroin and morphine intoxication.
Wow.
Yes, I knew that he was a drug addict.
Yep. So let me see. So yeah,
Oh,
Deuce is Wild. Like I said, Deuce is Wild. If you guys, I've heard of that movie. He had something to do with Recess. I didn't know that. You know the animated show Recess?
Oh yeah, I recall that.
I remember that show. Yeah.
Okay.
Used to watch it all the time when I was a kid.
He was the pupil, an apt pupil.
He was with that fucking Nazi war criminal. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was. Yeah, so he definitely was out there, and like I said, and they were kind of basically rising at the same time. And I think some people would mix those two up. They would think that Brad Renfro was Devin Sauer. And that's why some people.
You are a person, but some people usually requires more than just you.
Say again.
You are some person. Oh, nothing. Never mind. You know what? I'm leaving. I'm not appreciating.
The fuck? What did I miss?
What he was trying to say is, just because you think that doesn't mean everybody thought that.
Okay, but yet once again, when I tell people that Devin Sawa was in this movie or that movie, they're like, "Really? He was in this? He was that?" And that happens a lot. When I tell people that this particular actor was in those movies, or this particular actor was the guy who ended up playing Stan, and they were like, "Really?" Because again, because people just don't realize that Devin Sawa was like really in a lot of those shits. Like, did you ever see Little Giants, Charles?
Little Giants. I actually think I have seen Little Giants. It was a movie about a bunch of kids playing football, right?
It was it was that, but it was really about the two coaches that were brothers, that, you know what I'm saying, that one used to always be a winner and was always seen as the guy, you know what I'm saying, the big man of the town, and the other guy was kind of, you know what I'm saying, was kind of like just his brother, and it was mainly about him sort of measuring up to his brother and showing that he could, that he could coach a little league football team to beat his team, and that his daughter, could actually play football and be effective and everything like that. So it was this whole thing. Rick Moranis, you know how it goes.
You know what? I actually have seen this movie.
It's definitely a movie I saw as a kid, for sure.
And Devin Sauer was the Golden Boy quarterback that was playing on Rick Moranis' team and everything like that. Like he was kind of able to trick the play on his team because he thought he was going to be playing for the other coach because they had the same last name. You know what I'm saying? So he thought he was going to be playing for the other coach, and he did it with somebody. No, I think he was decent, but I think the other kid definitely got tricked like that too. There was this other kid that was like that looked like some goddamn. It was funny. I mean, you guys saw it. The guy that Buzz cut his own kid's cut to make him look exactly like him, and act like he's some kind of goddamn, cyborg or something like that. It's fucking crazy. It was crazy.
Huh.
Yeah, that movie was entertaining. Ed O'Neill, Rick Moranis, classic guys, man. Fucking classic. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if there was anybody that does a adult lighthearted humor sometimes, you know what I'm saying, and does it great, it's fucking Ed O'Neill to me. You know what I'm saying? Dutch is another one. Fucking fantastic. Another humorous life movie, you know what I'm saying, that he was a part of. Like I said, was great. Have you ever even heard of that? Because it didn't seem to be connected to you guys. Never heard of Dutch?
I was just trying to think, like, I wonder if he's I assume he's still doing stuff. I haven't seen anything from Ed O'Neill since Modern Family.
Well, Dutch was something that's way back in the day, and that's when he was with that is when he was with a young, where he had where he basically was playing off of a young fucking, why am I forgetting his name?
I'm still amazed by the revelation that Jim gave us yesterday, that there's a Married with Children 2099 series of comics. I think it was just 3, but and it's I don't think it was, I think it was some other brand, like it wasn't Marvel, but it's based on that, the whole Marvel 2099 series of things. I was like, I gotta check that out.
Yeah. When he said Married with Children 2099, the first thing that popped up in my head was, did they get that idea from Spider-Man 2099?
Yeah, you got there was Spider-Man, there was Doom, there was Punisher, there was Fantastic Four, there was a whole bunch of them.
Yeah. I mean, Married with Children 2099, like, what would even entail with that?
I looked into it. I haven't actually grabbed them yet, but apparently it's Al falls asleep while watching a sci-fi movie or something, and then dreams that he's living in like a dystopian sci-fi future.
Oh no!
And the covers were one was the Terminator, one was Back to the Future, and one was A New Hope. I think, all adapted to Married with Children. Just in general, there was a whole bunch of Married with Children comics, which I also never knew existed.
Yeah, but let me guess. Is Kathy Bates' character, is she an android?
Kathy Bates?
No, not Kathy Bates. What's her name?
How dare you, sir?
Yeah, I don't know why I said Kathy Bates.
Katie Seagal.
Katie Seagal, that's her name. Katie Seagal.
Yeah. I'm not sure about that. I haven't looked that far into it.
God damn it. Why did I say Kathy Bates? Motherfucker. God.
Just thinking about the movie about Schmidt, and I'm like, I would much rather see Katie Seagal get up all nude out of a fucking hot tub than Kathy Bates. My God.
Oh my God. It's like, oh man, what am I thinking about? I mean, I'm a fan of Kathy Bates. I'm a big fan.
Oh, she's a great actress. I'm just like it's like would you with between the two? It's like, well, Katie Seagal, yeah, Kathy Bates.
I mean, hell, I like Kathy Bates.
If I'm drinking enough, sure, maybe.
I like Kathy Bates' new show called Matlock. I'm a big fan of that show.
I've heard good things.
Yeah, it's an interesting show. I like it. I think she's been a lot of fun in the show. It's not what you expect. It's not like the old Andy Griffith Matlock show. It's not like that, but it's interesting.
No, they went through this on Tell 'Em Steve Dave at one point, where I think it was Brian Johnson was initially like the one who was watching it with his wife. Then he got Walt onto it, or maybe it was Q. Either way, like yeah, the only opinions I've really heard, but they all said yeah, good show, definitely a fun watch.
Yeah, but no, Kathy Bates is great. I mean, everything I've seen her in has been awesome. Hell, I even liked her when she did American Horror Story.
That's right. She was in. Well, she may have been in more, but she was in season 3 with the witches.
Yep, she was in that season.
Which is,
Where she,
I think
where
that
she,
was the season where I kind of checked out, just because most of the characters really annoyed me, and I just couldn't make it through.
yeah, it had Vera. That season had Vera Farmiga's younger sister in it, which she's a good actress, but I mean, I'm more of a fan of her sister. I can't
It was
remember.
randomly like I saw like she's doing. I think she's got her own metal band or something now.
Who?
Vera Farmiga.
Really?
I'm thinking of the right chick, right? The one from The Conjuring.
That's Vera Farmiga. The actress that was in American Horror Story, that was Vera Farmiga's younger sister. I think her name is Taissa Farmiga.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, it's Vera.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of. Yeah, she's got like her own like. I think it was referred to as a metal band. I checked out a little bit of a song. I was like, oh, yeah, I don't know if I'd call this metal, but
Really? I'm gonna have to look that up. I do like a
yeah,
good metal
don't
band.
ask me for the name of the band because I can't remember at all. But
I can just Google it. I mean, yeah. Let's see. Metal band. Oh, okay. There we go. Let's see. The Yagas.
the Yagas, okay, yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, the Yagas. Yeah. And they even have a edgy, like, promotional photo of the band.
Yes, they do.
Oh boy.
Like, I listened to a little bit of a song. I don't remember hating it. I don't remember really feeling any particular way about it. It was just sort of one of those things. You're like, yeah, I'll click on this. Okay,
They
move on.
have a music video of the song of one of their songs called "The Crying Room."
Yeah, I think that was the one I checked out a little bit of.
Yeah. I gotta admit, I think it's kind of cool that Vera Farmiga is a part of a quote unquote metal band. I
And
mean,
it's so it's like when I discovered that Christopher Lee did a couple metal albums.
well, yeah, Christopher Lee is a badass in and of it. Like when he's
Yeah, that's
live,
sort of
he's
like that.
a badass.
You can sort
So
of see that, and from memory, like it's been a long time, but from memory, those were pretty much just him doing spoken word over like metal riffs and whatnot. Like
yeah,
I
yeah,
remember it being like decent.
yeah. But Christopher Lee, he was just awesome in general. Like the walk, not walk, the floor he walked on would be automatically badass.
Yeah, it's
Just
like what do you call it? Hallowed ground.
pretty much, yeah. Just like, goddamn, when he passed away, I was sad for like a day.
He had a good run though, because wasn't he like 90 or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Like
Man,
I
I
think it
miss
was
that
in,
man.
like in his 80s when he did the metal albums. Just
Yep.
like that's fucking,
That man did not give a fuck.
no.
Yeah. He's seen some shit in his life and he was like, I don't give a fuck.
It
But
was him, right? There was witness to the last like public execution in England or something like that.
I think so. Yeah.
Like he was as a kid, he was there
Yeah.
watching some guy hang or whatever.
Something like that. But yeah, and man, it was awesome. Yeah, he was an awesome dude. And he was awesome as Saruman in Lord of the Rings. I need to go back and watch those movies again. I try to watch them once a year.
The theatrical or the extended cuts?
The only way to watch the Lord of the Rings movies is the extended cut. The theatrical cut does not exist. The extended cut is the only way to watch them.
Yeah, last time I watched them was the Riff Tracks versions, but they just did the theatrical. I guess just because, you know, it's more likely that people have access to those, I guess.
Look,
or maybe they were just like, you know, we're already spending so much time, we don't want to spend an extra 3 hours.
Yeah, the first time I ever watched the Lord of the Rings movies was actually the theatrical cut. And I bought the movies from my local Blockbuster as soon as they were released at the midnight release. And I ended up staying up and watching the movies before I had to go to school the very next day. And I was like, oh, this is the best thing ever. Oh, my opinion completely changed when they released the extended cut.
Now, the first time I saw them was when Return of the King came out, because I had a friend whose father had connections somewhere, and he got tickets to the premiere for Return of the King. And so it was like, oh yeah, we're going to see this. Do you want to come? I was like, well, I haven't seen the others. Like, oh, well, we have to watch those. So we watched through the first two, and then went to see went to see that. So that day alone was however many hours of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, well, I tried to watch Lord of the Rings on J.R.R. Tolkien's birthday. I like to make it like a special like holiday or celebration where I'll watch the movies on his birthday as sort of like to pay respect to the creator of Lord of the Rings.
Let me try and guess the month. It is August?
I think. I'm not sure.
Really? I was just making a guess. Because I have no idea.
I will look it up. I don't really remember. Let me see. J.R.R. Tolkien was born. Ah, fuck. Alright. I missed my chance to watch Lord of the Rings this year.
Also,
his birthday was January 3rd.
Oh, okay. I was way off.
Yeah. Damn. Well, I mean, who says I have to watch it on his birthday? I can watch it whenever I want.
Yeah, that's it. It's not like he's going to knock on your door and be like, hey, I saw that you missed this year. What the fuck?
Yeah. If J.R.R. Tolkien ever shows up on my doorstep, the only thing I'm going to be saying is like, holy shit, it's zombie J.R.R. Tolkien. Please don't eat my brains.
Well, I can't promise that, but I bring you a message. What's the message? Oh, I have to go now. Oh, how dare you.
All right. Well, I mean, on a interesting note, I watched Thunderbolts yesterday.
Let's see. I'll start with score out of 10.
6.2 out of 10.
Ooh, so above 50, but above 50%, but not great either.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed with it. I didn't even bother watching Captain America: Brave New World.
Oh, you're talking about Thunderbolts?
Yeah, I saw Thunderbolts yesterday.
I was just coming to tell you a fucking story about that. That's so crazy.
Really?
Yes, the opening scene You know, when Florence Pugh jumps off of the second tallest building in the world.
That was the second tallest building in the world?
Correct.
So, in other words, that wasn't the Sears Tower.
No idea. I didn't get that much detail. If it was supposed to be, let's see. Well, I don't know, but
isn't the tallest building in like Dubai or something like that?
Yeah. The tallest building in the world is in Dubai.
I had just assumed this was in Dubai as well.
No, it wasn't in Dubai. There wasn't enough sand.
Dubai or not Dubai?
Not.
That was a Shakespeare thing.
I would Dubai. Let me hold on. I gotta look this up.
Come here. Get on the bed.
But apparently that scene wasn't even in the script. It's in Malaysia, this second tallest building.
Really?
Really? I didn't know that.
Called Merdeka 118.
I didn't even know Malaysia had tall buildings.
I do know that Malaysia does have like some pretty tall buildings, but I didn't know that they had the second tallest building in the world. I did know that Dubai had the tallest building in the world.
Okay, yeah, I just googled it. It is Merdeka 118 where she jumped in the movie. So if they were presenting it as the Sears Tower, it is not. Which is weird. Why she would jump from the Sears Tower in the movie, but an even bigger tower in reality. So anyway, the funny story is the scene was removed from the script by the time they went to go film because Disney would not insure their top actress to jump from the second tallest building in the world. So once she found out that the scene was removed, because apparently it's a very important character scene, it's not just a stunt. I don't know. Can you verify that, Charles, having seen it?
She does actually jump from the building.
No, I know this, but
no, as a character moment, like, is it an important like sequence?
During the sequence, she is like doing a voiceover, like she's talking, and she's talking about how depressed she is and how she's how she is like sort of like going on autopilot ever since the death of her sister, which is Natasha, aka Black Widow, ever since the movie Endgame, and she's just kind of like going on autopilot through her life and kind of just losing herself in her work.
So Black Widow was a prequel. All right. So it's a character scene. Yes, it's a character building scene.
It is a character building scene. Yes.
Okay. So she gets annoyed that they take it out. She tells them she wants it back in. They deny it again. Apparently, they deny it 3 times. She gets a bug up her ass and starts harassing them with sassy emails about how they let Tom Cruise jump off the same building. They insured him, and why won't they insure her? Starts pulling the sexism card, all this other shit. So they finally relent. And they let her do it, as you can see in the movie. But as soon as they relented and said, all right, you could jump off the second tallest building in the world, it hits her. She's like, fuck, I gotta jump off the second tallest building in the world.
Yeah, now we gotta do it. Fuck.
Yeah. She wasn't really thinking about actually doing it. She was just thinking about how she wasn't being allowed to do it, how the scene was removed. So she was focused on just getting it back. And then she realized, fuck.
She's like, oh yeah, like Tom Cruise is a crazy person. Like he's got some kind of weird death wish. Like I don't want to die.
Well, apparently her grandmother is some kind of crazy person, like Daredevil. So like, and her father as well. I don't know what that means. Were they just jackasses jumping all over the place? I don't know. But apparently they were daredevils, and she takes after them.
Yeah, but I like the scene where it actually shows her jumping off of the building. It kind of like pans out from a distance, and then you see her falling, and then she activates. She like pulls the parachute, and then she just like glides down to where she lands.
Was it a stunt worth fighting for? Like, did she do a good job? Because apparently it's all her.
It did look good, but you don't see her clearly enough to be able to tell if it is actually her or not.
So it's
So for all
something they
it
could have just done
could
with
have been a
CG,
stunt.
and
It
you
could
wouldn't
have
have.
been a stunt double. It could have
Okay.
been. So I don't know. I don't know if it was her. I don't know if it was a stunt double. I couldn't tell.
I mean, that sort of boils down to really bad directing at that point. So you've got one of your lead actresses willing to do something like that, and you sort of cop out like that.
Well, the thing is that
trying to find the scene right now.
The thing is that her wanting to do the scene and them not like pulling the scene out. It sounds like there's probably like other motives involved, but it could also mean that they were not willing to put their actor at risk.
Oh yeah, I've heard many like far lesser things where the studio just won't insure it.
Yeah, because a scene like that and the actor willing, at first glance, the actor willing to do the scene themselves, there is a lot of things that could go wrong in a scene like that. A lot. Even Tom Cruise knows that there's a lot that can go wrong in scenes like that. But Tom Cruise has been doing scenes like that for decades. So he knows what to do if things can go wrong. But
you could definitely tell it's her, Charles Whedon. You could definitely tell it's literally fucking, she's standing on the edge of the building. She's sitting there for a while. It's a clear shot of her, very close.
I'm talking about as when she was already falling and then she pulls the chute. It's on the side when she's like gliding down. It's like
now that might be a stunt double.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
That could be the compromise they made. They'll be like, look, we'll let you jump, but there's going to be a net 20 feet below you. You're just jumping to the net. You're not jumping to you're not jumping off and skydiving.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I think it was a mix between her jumping and them using a stunt double. I think, yeah, you could be right. It was probably a compromise.
Sorry, guys.
So this is like her movie, though, right?
For the most part, but one of the issues I had with the movie is they also brought in Taskmaster, which was the character that they had as one of the villains in the Black Widow movie, and Taskmaster was barely in the Thunderbolts movie because they killed her off. They killed her off, which I thought was dumb. And Taskmaster was part of the marketing of the Thunderbolts movie. Like, she
it's such a great character too.
She was all over, and I say she because they gender swapped Taskmaster in Black Widow. In the comics, Taskmaster is a guy.
Wait,
but in the Black Widow movie, they turned Taskmaster into a woman.
I feel like
you telling me they killed her off in Thunderbolts?
Yeah, Taskmaster is dead.
Like, in Thunderbolts,
they had the character.
No spoiler tag on that.
Yeah,
they had the character Ghost shoot her in the head.
In Thunderbolts.
Yes, in Thunderbolts.
Why are you telling us this?
God damn it!
You son of a bitch! I'm gonna come over there.
But to get away from that, I think Taskmaster was a woman in Deadpool, in the Deadpool comics, I think.
Go ahead, what?
I think Taskmaster was a woman in the Deadpool comics, if I recall right.
Really?
I'm fairly sure, like earlier Deadpool comics.
I don't recall that. I thought I was in the clear on spoilers here.
For the movie that came out yesterday?
You guys don't even watch Marvel movies.
I told you I want to see this movie.
I do. I just,
This is one of the only Marvel movies I want to see.
Oh my god!
I've been waiting.
How does that song
Black
go
Widow
again?
was awesome. I said Black Master. Black Widow was awesome.
How does that song go again? Oops, I did it again.
I played with my butt. Yeah.
You can't do that off camera, Charles. You got to do the hits.
In it.
Okay.
All right. How about we
Sounds
move
just like, what the
away
fuck
from
did I come back to?
before I fuck
I
up?
mean, like I said, the rabbit holes are fine as long as we spin back to Final Destination. We're awesome because again, I'm telling you, 1 o'clock or so. Because I still I got this other thing that I'm doing in a couple of hours after that. So
Yeah, I think we should move back to Final Destination before I fuck up even worse.
What did you guys talk of Final Destination?
yeah, my God. I mean, we got. I mean, we're devolving back to fucking. There's just something about Mary here. Is that what we're? Oh my Jesus Christ!
Something
You don't
about
have hair,
Mary
Stone.
Jesus
now?
Christ!
You don't have hair.
I mean, we're almost an hour in. We're almost an
Oh my
hour
God.
in. We're almost an hour in, and
You
he's
guys
and,
check
and
this
he's
out.
and he's doing and he's doing fucking Meatloaf's probably best. You know what I'm saying? Best role ever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Jesus Christ.
What about Robert Paulson?
And quick question: where's my bed ball?
No. Robert Paulson doesn't say you were masturbating.
Where does Meatloaf do that?
Mm-hmm.
I
You gonna tell me
don't
that's
watch things like
You
that.
told me that was a Meatloaf and there's something about Mary.
Oh, I don't recall that.
No, that was
Meatloaf.
I haven't
What's
seen
up,
what-
Kish?
the brother.
That was Meatloaf.
No, it wasn't. It was Dan from Deadwood.
Was
What?
it now?
What's his name? Earl W. Brown, Earl Brown, whatever his fucking name is.
I think it's WEW. I don't know.
Like
That wasn't Meatloaf.
Paul Swearengen's enforcer. That wasn't Meatloaf. I
It's
guarantee.
just EW Brown, I think. No, that's an awning company. Never mind.
W. Earl Brown. I think.
You're
I
correct.
cannot-
W. Earl Brown. And you know what, Stone? He looks exactly like Meatloaf now. I tell you what. Not exactly, but I could see how somebody who can confuse Devon Sawa with Brad Renfro would confuse Meatloaf with W. Earl Brown.
Idiot. I never fucking confused Devin Sawa with Brad Renfro. Didn't even know his name
It was
until I looked it
your
up.
friend. I know. It was the other people. You were asking for a friend. I know.
I wasn't asking for a friend. I was seeing two other people who are, you know what I'm saying, who are chuckling after your bad jokes, saying, you know what I'm saying that they didn't even realize that Devin Sawa was Stan. That he didn't realize that Devin Sawa was Stan. Like,
well, he's stupid. What do you want?
that's not about being stupid. That's about that's about not realizing. And then Charles didn't realize that Devin Sawa was in Idle Hands.
I've seen Idle Hands.
And now you wrapped it up by not realizing Meatloaf was not in Something About Mary.
I've seen Idle Hands. I've only ever seen it once, but I have seen it.
But you didn't think it was Devin Sawa that was the main character.
Here, I'll confuse a character now. So you guys just saw that porno movie that just came out with Florence Poe? Oh no, I made a mistake. It wasn't her.
Huh?
I was just wishful thinking.
And her name is Florence Pugh.
Pooh. Florence Pooh. Excuse me. Florence Pooh.
I'd like to sit on her or have her sit on me. I'll be the Pew.
I was wondering where that was going. I didn't.
I didn't know, to be honest. I just opened it.
That's pretty good.
If you
didn't know till the end of that one, credit.
I don't even find her that attractive. I think she's like, whatever.
No, people like dirty blondes. That's why she's so sought after, because she just looks like a dirty blonde.
She looks like a what? A dirt? No, it's because she's got
the prostitute that Patrick Bateman would send back.
She has a mix of fit and feminine that works. You know, it's not like, because she doesn't have it. She's not like completely traditionally curvy. She's more of a wide curve to her. Yeah, which makes her look very athletic, but also still very feminine. I think that's why people like it. She looks strong but weak. You know, you can still rape her.
Allegedly.
What the fuck?
I am not. What? Huh?
Okay, yeah, that was definitely a sign that we need to get back to Final Destination. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Because that is not the final destination we want to be landing at on my channel.
Knowing damn well he should have used fruit. Knowing damn well he should have went fruity on that. If it still could have been clever. Still would have landed. They're using the fruit.
What would they do with the fruit? Some like man rape story? I don't understand.
Okay, and we're still doing it. My goodness.
You told me to go fruity.
That's not what the fuck I meant.
I'm just trying to understand.
Of course you are.
You know what I'm saying? I think you understand, you fucking.
Of course you do.
Pretend she has a cock?
No. Okay. What the hell does it have to do with fruit, doof? We're talking about grapes. Ass. Okay. So instead of saying grape minus G, you would just say grape.
You don't
right?
fuck grapes. Oh, grape ape. I got it. Grape. Got it.
Oh, okay.
You've gotten it well before now, ass.
I did not. I say the word. I don't.
Lies and subterfuge.
But you know we're really not trying to age restrict our fucking our fucking shows if possible, right?
Well, that I don't know. I mean,
we're okay. Well, guys, let's make it clear. Are you trying to age restrict your show?
Oh,
if I was on
get
camera,
it. It's a grape-free zone. I get it. All right, you don't have to keep admonishing me. All right, I'll never grape again.
No, we want.
I don't believe that either.
That's your choice. We're not it's your choice when we're not the cops. And please use plausible deniability when dealing with us. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Plausible deniability. Haven't you ever heard of that? What are you doing?
I don't know. I was only talking about a funny face drink flavor called Goofy Grape. I don't know.
Of course you were.
of
course you were.
No.
And we were talking about gay male forced prison sex, right?
Well, that's what I thought we were talking about. Now I'm confused.
Oz is a great show.
I will never watch that show.
I'll get Walton Goggins is in it. I want to tell you where.
Is he? How long?
Yes.
That's what she said.
How long is he in it? A lot or a little?
He's not. I'm just thinking that's how I got Charles to finally watch The Shield.
You son of a bitch.
And it turned out that The Shield ended up being a great show.
That's one of the best.
Yeah, it was awesome.
But no, it was like I told y'all before. It was troubling to see like Grand Theft Auto Cops. You know what I'm saying? As a TV show.
Yeah, but you just watch. You tell me that Walton Goggins is in Oz, and then I'm like 2 or 3 seasons in, and I'm like, hey, wait a minute. I don't think Walton Goggins is in this show.
You're like, hey, that's
That's
not Walton Goggins.
Of course he is. He's that bucktooth guy getting butt. Well, nope. Okay.
Come on, there's not that much butt grapes in there.
There's actually not. It just like like there is, but there's not as well.
If we say butt grapes, is there a confusion there? Like people might be literal, like because like butt grapes is
thinking of just hedonistic, like
I don't know about
people.
I don't know anything about butt grapes. Okay,
it's in the gay community with frozen grapes. It's like the real version of the gerbil myth.
This is a myth.
Well, I'm only trying to be nice. They claim it. Look, Mouth Congress, Scott Thompson and the Great Bellini, they just released an album, and on it, and they're homosexuals. They have a whole song about putting gerbils in your butt. So obviously, it's true.
But not grapes.
No, but in the real, but they actually frozen grapes go inside of gay men's butts. They do it.
And by the way, and let's be fair, Richard Gere did that, and he wasn't gay. Okay, let's just be real about that.
Well, first off, if you're just putting a gerbil or grapes that are frozen in your butt, and you're only thinking about a gerbil and the frozen grapes, and not the gender of the gerbil, or imagining the grapes and gerbil are a cock, it's not gay.
I'm not saying
it's not cool, but it's not.
Wasn't.
Gay.
I'm saying he wasn't gay, but he did it, so it was not about gay men because Richard Gere totally got exposed for doing that, and he wasn't gay.
It's like, can you imagine you've got this illustrious career of all these fucking movies? Like that's my legacy. I'm the gerbil in the ass guy.
I can't believe when Nazi Prime Minister Joseph Goebbels, you're saying Richard Gere had in his ass.
Yep,
that's what you're telling me right now.
That is exactly. Yes, this is my history lesson for today.
What you're talking about is essentially pedo shit. You know what I'm saying? PDF shit. Because there's no way that
it could have been. It could have been an adult. You know,
really, Richard Gere could have been an adult around Nazi, around World War II Nazi time.
Oh my God!
Are we serious?
Oh no, I was talking about the age of the rodent or
he's
whatever
a time traveler. Clearly, he's a time traveler,
and we still don't see the signs to get back to Final Destination yet. I'm just saying. I feel like this is a sign.
What? But all right. Look, I have
time traveler. Okay.
Thing to bring us back to what is it? Final Destination.
Final D. That's right. We're getting back to the Final D.
I'm going to bring us back. Here's Final Destination segue.
Richard Gere. Richard Gere, officer and gentleman Richard Gere. What the hell he was doing with a racist beast jail joke? I don't know. He might be into it. We heard those stories about him. No. He put Goebbels up his ass. He did what? Goebbels. He put Goebbels up his ass. Goebbels. Yeah. Yeah, Goebbels, a German guy.
Joseph Goebbels?
That's him.
The Nazi Minister of Propaganda.
That's him. That's the guy.
Richard Gere put Joseph Goebbels up his ass.
Yeah, that's how they got him out of Germany.
What?
At the end of the war.
Yeah.
When they were smuggling Goebbels to Argentina.
Right.
The only way to get Goebbels out of Germany was inside Richard Gere's ass.
Richard Gere. Yeah. The Richard Gere. The guy from Pretty Woman. Went from Berlin to Buenos Aires with Joseph Goebbels up his ass.
I know, ain't it crazy?
You know. What do you know?
Everybody knows.
He wasn't even around then.
When? Goebbels. Says who?
Says nobody. I haven't been born yet.
Then let me ask you, why would my uncle make all this up?
Your uncle?
My
exactly,
uncle.
Stone.
He worked.
What is this from?
The hospital where he had to remove
National Lampoon's Dirty Movie.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah,
this movie is phenomenal.
We can do this.
You're telling me
we can do this.
Wait a minute.
I'm so far up there.
We can totally.
Wait a minute.
It feels straight up a scene out of The Sopranos.
He's a devout Buddhist. So why
is that
shove Goebbels up his ass?
Is that
Christopher Maloney?
Yeah, is that Christopher Maloney?
Yes, it is.
What, you know
in his
Richard
height.
Oh,
I do not know Richard.
In his height of
Richard Gere did not do nothing with no Goebbels. That's crazy.
Richard Gere did not do nothing with no Goebbels.
My cousin, though, he was at that party where Rod Stewart swallowed all that jizz and had to have his stomach pumped.
Now that's true. Dude, that movie, if you haven't seen it, you must watch it. It's literally
which one did you say it was again?
Dirty Movie. It's literally
Oh fuck, I did watch that. Yeah,
there's
yeah.
two of them. I never saw the sequel.
Oh, there's two.
Yeah.
Is it like following on, or is it like completely unrelated? Just same kind of concept.
It's related. It's got connections to it. I just never watched it because I couldn't imagine it would be as good. But this movie, it's just a movie of jokes, just jokes that you tell people standing outside. And it's just fucking joke after joke after joke weaved together into a fucking awesome movie. It's really good.
I'm amazed I don't remember that, but I was definitely fucking hammered when I watched that movie.
Rented it on demand, no less than 10 times probably. Every time my friends would come over, I would fucking rent that movie and fucking play it.
And folks, I feel it necessary to mention that you are not tripping out, and neither are we. This is not visuals from Final Destination, and this is not our viewpoint of what the cast of Final Destination would look like as older.
You're telling me there can't be a Final Destination and death involving a gerbil?
I think he's talking about the background.
Yes.
Yeah, Charles and I discussed that before the show. It's like, well, it's a group of people, sort of like the poster for the first movie, and
but they're not our it's not our vision of what we think. What they would look like as older people, because I don't know which one of them would be Devon Sawa exactly. So I'm just not saying.
I mean, Gosling, obviously.
Yeah.
No. Wait a minute. Then who would Harrison Ford be?
Tony Todd.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Clearly, you don't say the resemblance.
What, morose? Jesus, come on.
Yeah, that morose motherfucker right there.
Nooch, motherfucker.
But I will say this again. I want to make sure that it's known that I felt like par for late 90s, 2000 movies. It's like everybody. It's like a lot of people that should have been given a fuck about. You know what I'm saying? About Browning. You know what I'm saying? Were fucking like they were handling it so jackassy. You know what I'm saying? Which was a sign of the times of, like I said, late 90s, 2000 with Final Destination. It's like only it seemed like only Clear, another high school student, seemed to give a fuck about the fact that this kind of happened to this kid. He wasn't trying to be weird or scary or fuck with anybody. It's something that happened to him, and he felt compelled to say something. And everybody's treating him like he's some kind of fucking like terrorist or something like that, or some kind of.
That's how it goes in the real world.
You think so? You think this really goes like that?
Fucking day. Every fucking day I go out there and some mentally defunct derelict. Okay, I'm trying to curve my words for your family-friendly programming. Some jerk off says something completely absurd and jerk offish to me, and then I go, "What did you just say? That's not correct." And before even saying the correct, there's 50 other strangers jumping in saying, "Don't object to the clerk. How dare you object to the clerk? What's wrong with you, freak? The clerk is a god. I need to get my milk."
He wasn't even supposed to be here today.
Oh my god.
I'm being dead ass fucking serious, bro. I told you guys what happened with that Trump supporter. It's non-stop shit like that. People just jumping in, interjecting when they're completely like shit where I am 100% in the fucking right and I'm not acting out or anything. You know what I'm saying? And somebody's just, like I said, changing it a little bit from what had happened to a more vague be all for what does happen. Somebody says something incorrect and I literally say, "Oh no, that's not it. Actually the actuality." Keep moving! My milk's spoiling! How fucking dare you object with the clerk? This is happening over and over. The world's gone insane. Not me. I'm not the one putting frozen grapes in my butt and Joseph Goebbels.
Okay.
People say social media is not a reflection of real life. I feel like it's becoming that way.
It is. Just like the AI is going to turn everybody into HR reps with its hate speech, because I hate that way the way they speak. Everybody's about just talking like they're in HR, like you're about to get sued, and I'm seeing it in the real world. People now they're talking like I think we could find a better way of conflict resolution here. You motherfucker! That's how it is now. It's insane people who think they're in an HR meeting. Stone left.
No, not really. So life is like Alone in the Dark.
The one with Jack Palance, Walter Matthau, and them.
Yeah,
where they looned.
It's you know what I'm saying. There's a new doctor. He's obviously killed our old doctor. He's going to kill us soon. We have to take him. Yes.
Yeah, that's the world.
At least it's not the Alone in the Dark with Christian Slater and Tara Reid.
Which I finally watched the other day, Mr. Whedon, about a couple weeks ago. That's actually a really fun movie.
That was Slater, an Uwe movie, right?
It's what?
Uwe movie?
Yes, I actually watched it shortly after I told him I never saw it. and I realized afterwards, I said it very cavalierly, like, yeah, I never saw that piece of shit. I'm only interested in your fucking Postal movies and Rampage. Fuck, you're Alone in the Dark. I heard it's crap. It's probably crap. It turns out he really is proud of that film, and I see why, because he actually did do a good job. It's well directed. It's goofy as shit, but it's fun to see Christian Slater doing kung fu and stuff, and like doing his like some sort of action role. It's the most action I've seen him do in a role, I gotta say.
What? I mean, hold up. Wasn't he in that? He was in that movie, Broken Arrow, with fucking.
Yeah, but
yeah, I was gonna say, like, yeah, I was thinking of Broken Arrow, but I was like, I don't remember him doing a whole lot.
yeah,
really.
I was gonna say, was there much action? He's been in a few action movies, but did he do any action in them? I don't recall that. Like, you could say Gleaming the Cube, and when he was younger, the Cuffs, those were action films, comedy actions, dramedy actions. But you know, they didn't have him doing martial arts and like as an this was an actual action star role. This, you know, something that Jason Stratham would play.
Was there a couple of those, or am I just thinking of the games? There's been a few games, but I could have sworn there was at least a couple movies.
Which movie?
Alone in the Dark.
No.
I think there was just one.
Okay.
Ew. The monsters were. I'm sorry. Look, the thing about it is the structure. See, the structure of the movie is something. I don't know.
No
certain things. I don't know if there's certain things are bigger than others, or how they play in certain movies.
There was a sequel. Sorry.
I think it kind of evolves a little bit, but I think it's like if I don't know if it's a movie, if it's sort of like a monster movie or whatever, you know what I'm saying, or a creature movie. You know what I'm saying? Where some creatures are basically, you know what I'm saying, are sort of like the opposition, and and like the structure of them are ass. I mean, don't you think it ruins the movie?
Why?
Sorry?
How so?
Because if you feel like you got some fucked up looking monsters or whatever, or the CGI is just like really shit, it's like it doesn't ruin the vibe of the movie.
Oh, yeah, it does. But you know, kind of look, we grew up with that shitty. Look back at any movie we thought was great, and the CGI was shit. So I guess I'm more forgiving now than I used to be.
So you feel like the practical effects in Chud is ass now?
I didn't say anything about practical effects. Practical effects were by far better.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. That's the shit that I wrote with. I wrote with the practical effects movies mostly than just all that ridiculous shit that they were trying to introduce and everything like that. So, like, yeah, it's like when they make these monsters and they're like, and they're kind of as like even something like Screamers. Like, what you think about Screamers? Tell me so. You never saw Screamers?
What is it?
Wait, Screamers. Isn't that movie with what was it Ed Harris?
Peter Weller.
Peter Weller, maybe. That's right. Peter Weller.
Robot Cop?
Yep.
No, it had these
he was RoboCop. He was asking. He was Robo. Yes, yes. We're talking about RoboCop. He was in that movie.
Yeah, but no. It was these robots. These drone type robot things that were underground, and when they would come after you, they would make a screaming type sound, and when they would come to you, they would kill you, basically.
So the monsters in the movie called Screamers would scream.
Basically, yeah, but they were robots. They were like assassin type robots. And they became self-aware, and they eventually evolved and were able to create human form screamers. And I think, I don't know if it was in the first movie or the second movie, but there was a movie that they did where the main character got paired up with this woman, and the two of them were trying to escape the planet that was completely overtaken by the Screamers. And it eventually got to the point where they managed to get to one of the escape ships, and it was later revealed that the woman was revealed to be a human form Screamer.
That's like a complete fucking ripoff. That is the exact same fucking plot as Driving Miss Daisy.
What?
I knew it seemed familiar.
Yeah. You don't remember that part where she's like, "Oh, Hoke, you're my best friend," and he goes, "Ah!"
Also, what movies are these? I stepped away for a second.
It's called Screamer or Screamers, and then I
Okay.
think the second one was called Screamers 2, or it might have been something else.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yes, Screamers 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, that's it.
An all-time classic, apparently.
Guys, I don't want to be rude to our one viewer. I know it's not Final Destination or Film Talk, but Richard Kish has a question for Damien. Sorry to bring up politics, but I wanted to get Damien's info on his PM. Is your Labor Party and Albanese conservative or liberal? I've been following Sky News. They love Trump. That's a weird. That's like a weird sentence, Richard Kish. You got to know that. That's like three statements, half a question. Damien, does this make any sense to you?
I mean, a little bit, but as much as our politics makes sense to me, like we've sort of got two right wings. It's just one is more right wing than the other, and the Liberal Party is the true sort of like straight up right wing one, and Labor is it's a fucking mess.
What I very regrettably the only time I ever did sex with two fat women was with a man named Albanese. It wasn't my fault. It was the one girl. It was her fault. But yeah, that was the one I tell you about where we were standing up there, we were high fiving with our fucking penises swinging in the moonlight. We were just like, it was just there was nothing gay about that. So yeah. I can agree that you can have non-gay threesomes. You know, two men can have sex with two women at the same time, and it could not be gay. It just depends on the two men. Because the next time I had sex with a man and a woman, that man tried to touch my penis, and that was gay. So that wasn't cool. You see, it depends. There was no high-fiving in that one. There was just a fucking Dutch rudder that it did not like. Dickhead, Stone's not here. I can keep. What's wrong with you people? So, Final Destination then.
Yeah.
Damien fell out. Okay, so it's all your fault.
How is it my fault?
Because the first two boys didn't talk. Then you have to talk.
Yes, I have to talk.
Well, I finished speaking. I'm one of four boys in the room. The other two boys who you leave to do the wording until it's your turn, your choice, not a construct, your choice.
Yeah,
they didn't speak. That means it's your turn to talk, Mr. TEE-PP. The only other option would be to me to say something else. I had already punchlined it. I already made myself sound like a gay weirdo getting a Dutch rudder.
Yeah, well, just
how it works. You're supposed to say something negative to me now.
Jim, you're an asshole.
I didn't get nothing went in my. Listen, at least my asshole was left alone in these situations.
Well, you said to say something
one of those
negative.
Fat girls. And, you know, Charles, in that situation, when me and that gentleman Albanese were doing these two ladies, one of them we kept going back and forth, and after a while, she says, "Listen, can you guys just stop doing me in the butt and just do my vagina?" And we both looked at each other and just started laughing. I think that's when the high five happened because we had no idea we were doing her in the butt. Neither of us. We were both just accidentally doing her in the butt.
I mean,
this is what happens when they leave you alone with me.
Ha ha ha! Surprise anal.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the lesson you learned is a fat girl's butthole feels like a normal girl's vagina. That's that thing. Oh, boy. So, Final Destination. You watched all 4 or 5 or 4?
I watched all. I watched 4 of them, but I did not watch the 5th one.
Really? That's the only good one.
Look, the reason why I didn't watch the 5th one is because I watched that like kill count video that I told you I watched.
Yeah.
And I thought that was sufficient to be able to cover what I needed to know about that movie. So
no, I don't agree. That movie was the one you needed to watch.
Well, I got the gist of what I needed to see from that
you
movie.
watch 4 movies doing the exact same thing, and then one of them finally switches it up a bit, and that's the one you miss.
Well, I will admit, I hated Final Destination 4. I hated that movie.
I didn't hate it, but I didn't enjoy it. I was way fatigued by that point, like by what was happening.
I didn't even like Final Destination 3 either, and that one had that Mary Elizabeth Winstead in it. Ewan McGregor's his mistress.
Knock knock.
What?
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Ewan.
Ewan who?
You and McGregor. Lick my balls.
But no, it's just what's her what would you call someone like that? Yeah, Mary Elizabeth Winstead is a homewrecker. So just
Whose home did she wreck?
Ewan McGregor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Ewan McGregor left his previous wife and left his wife and divorced her so that he could be with Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Well, Charles, I was reading comments on a funny meme just the other day about something similar to this. I had a picture of Mike Tyson sleeping in bed, like cradling a woman, and then some dude tapping his shoulder. And it was like, if you came home to find Mike Tyson in bed with your wife, what do you do? And the comments were all stupid stuff. I'd make the nice man an egg breakfast. But one comment made a lot of sense, or not made a lot of sense, reminded me of what I used to always believe. It's not the dude's fault. So it's not what's her name? Mary Winstead's fault. She fucked Ewan McGregor. That's her business. Yeah, it would be nice if she didn't, go after someone who had a partner, but it's his fault. He's the one. The cheater is the one who is more disgusting. How do you know Mary Elizabeth Winstead doesn't just have a fetish for men with wives? Maybe that's just what turns her on and conquest over that. Therefore, is it wrong if her goal was to harm the other woman and was to steal the husband? I wouldn't say it's wrong because that was her goal. It's not morally right, but it's not wrong because it's what she wanted to do. It's wrong for Ewan McGregor to cheat on his partner.
Yes, I would say they're both in the wrong.
Yes and no. What contract is she bound by, though? I agree. Look, morally, I agree. I wouldn't take somebody else's woman unless, of course, I really didn't like the dude, or I just wanted to bother him. Then maybe I would. But morally, I believe it's wrong, right? Even though I would do it, maybe it's wrong. That said, there's no contract. She didn't sign any contract with Ewan McGregor's wife. She doesn't have any bond, nothing. It's just another person. She's just taking what she wants.
I don't know. It's just
nice.
There should be some unwritten. There should be an unwritten rule where you don't cross a line like that.
There is, but rules are meant to be broken.
I don't know. It's just I think what it's just yes, Ewan McGregor, what he did was just it was just incredibly disrespectful what he did. But I still think that hold on, did we add him back? Yes, we okay. What I still think that Mary Elizabeth Winstead, she made the decision to stick around after the whole situation happened. She could have said no, but she decided to stay around. And that's why I think they're both in the wrong.
Wait, she decided to stick around after they broke up, you're saying?
No, she, like, after the breakup, sure, she was probably in the free and clear, yes, but she decided to still be a part of the situation when the affair happened.
I'm very confused.
Yeah, I'm confusing myself as well. I'm trying to word this better.
The woman she was around while she was having an affair with.
No. Let's see if I can word this better. He left his wife for Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I don't know if an affair actually happened. I don't know for certain. I don't know. But what my whole point of bringing this up is he left his family for her, for Mary Elizabeth Winstead. And I think that's not really good. That just irks me.
But you don't know. His wife might have been an absolute piece of shit.
I don't know, but I think it just doesn't sit right with me. It doesn't.
So it does seem that they had relationships during the separation. Nobody knows if they were dating or seeing nobody knows if there was an affair prior to the separation. Okay. But during the separation, they were seen out having secreted relations.
Okay, well, if they were in a separation, then that means that they weren't formally divorced.
Yes, but separations are generally understood as the time where you go fuck other people.
It's more of a gray area at that point.
Well, it's the gray area of, are you going to defile the marriage fully or not? Here's your chance to decide whether you're going to go and fuck someone else or not.
That's why I would call it a gray area. It's like basically if the married couple is separated and one of the spouses sleeps with somebody else during the separation, that right there solidifies whether or not they're going to have a divorce.
McGregor's daughter has called Winstead a piece of trash. She hates her.
Yeah. I'm not surprised by that.
I'm trying to find more on that, but not much. Just basically what you said. Nobody really knows.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't even like Ewan McGregor. It's just like some of the comments that he's made regarding the Star Wars fan base is just, it's really shown his true colors as a
So it'll make me like him more.
Huh?
His comments will make me like him more, I assume.
Not really, no. He's basically become a bit of an arrogant piece of shit. He really has. He's become arrogant, he's become egotistical, he's become in complete support of Disney's version of Star Wars. And many of the people that would consider themselves true Star Wars fans, like myself, for example, yeah, we hate his guts.
Why? Because I'm reading him having said nothing but good things. I've seen no bad things have him said about Star Wars or Star Wars fans. And he even says he's thinks it's weird to be in a film that was hammered, but he appreciates the impact of the franchise and the character Obi-Wan. He wants to continue the story with Christensen. I don't know.
Hayden Christensen has mostly been keeping his head down. Like he has expressed interest in coming back to reprise his role as Anakin Skywalker, and I believe he will be making an appearance in season 2 of Ahsoka. But Ewan McGregor, on the other hand, I mean, I've seen some of the stuff that he's been posting on social media that no.
What, like he's getting all political and weird?
Among other things, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's to be expected.
Yeah.
I'm sad I've still never seen Train Spotting 2, to be honest. I waited for that movie for like decades. And then when it came out, I was like, why would I even care?
I mean, hell, even Simon Pegg has said some things about Star Wars that I don't like.
I still want to know what McGregor said, because I'm reading here that he's understands why some of the fans didn't like the prequel trilogy when compared to the original. He says that the original movies are huge for him. Yeah. Weird. I gotta see if this is real. Something about Opie with a playing with a dildo on video has leaked.
Damien, you back?
Am I? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Yes, for now.
So we were talking Final Destination while you guys were gone. Sorry that we talked all 5 movies. We did.
Yeah, we talked about every Final Destination movie in intricate detail, right down to the smallest, minute detail.
Man, I knew that was going to happen. I am so bummed right now.
Yep.
So what's his the Ewan McGregor is doing the sex with Weinstead?
We just talked for like 10 minutes about that, Damien.
Yeah. We
just say yes or no. That's all I.
Yes, they had sex.
Okay.
Yeah, Ewan
That's all I need to know.
McGregor basically doing the bumping of uglies with Mary Elizabeth Weinstead, and apparently Ewan McGregor's daughter hates her fucking guts.
Yeah,
she ruined her family.
I think it was probably ruined before that, but yeah, I get that.
But what you really missed.
Sorry, guys.
Oh yeah, Jim left. Okay.
Yeah, I knew.
Yeah.
I knew what was going to happen. All good. I was away for a little bit as well. Fucking
why? Okay.
Internet bullshit.
Yep.
Well, it wasn't internet; it was Wi-Fi bullshit this time.
Oh shit.
Yes. Okay. So where were we at this point? Speaking of which, I gotta go grab my damn charger before, you know what I'm saying, before I'm truly bounced out and have to get back in. But where were we?
Okay, so
the same place as we were about an hour ago.
Yeah, we've been all over the place today.
Yeah.
I was even going to suggest a shenanigans show too.
Yeah, I think we should just like say that this was just shenanigans today.
Just rebrand it.
Yeah. But one thing I do want to say is about the Final Destination, at least comparison between the first movie and the second movie, is I think the kills in the second movie were definitely better than the first movie. especially the premonition kills in the second movie were far cooler the second time around. Also, did you guys recognize the girl in the second movie that had the premonition of like the expressway kills? Did you recognize her?
I'm trying to think, because again, I haven't seen it recently, guy. So
Is she the only thing she's done recently is she was in a procedural cop drama called Criminal Minds.
okay.
Her name is AJ Cook. And the one thing that she's done that I am a big fan of is the snowboarding comedy movie that also stars Zach Galifianakis called Out Cold.
Oh, which I think I found out about because of, I think it was because of you.
Yeah, I told you guys about that movie.
It's a movie I didn't even know existed.
Yeah, Out Cold is hilarious.
Is it the one where Zach Galifianakis has sex with the reindeer?
No. He tries to get jiggy with Victoria Silvstedt in that movie.
Playmate of the Year.
Victoria Silvstedt, Playmate of the Year.
Aww.
I love basketball. That is such a great movie.
They don't, which bothers me.
I know. The reason why they don't like it is because they're not the ones who wrote it. But
it seems like they did, so fuck it.
Yeah. But
I always figured they did. Just,
so did I.
Never paying attention to the credits or whatever. I was just like, yeah, it's exactly them.
Had no clue until 10 years ago, maybe 5 years
but
even.
But in Out Cold, there's a scene where he's like getting all intimate with Victoria Silvstedt in a hot tub, and nothing actually happens. Like she leaves, and he's just left in the hot tub by himself, and nothing happens. I won't say what happens.
Down the drain like Tweak.
I won't say what happens after that because something hilarious happens and you need to see it for yourself. But no, the movie Out Cold is just constant laughs throughout the entire movie. It is very good.
Just real quick, if we hadn't gone too far from that, I did want to respond to what you were saying on the comparison. I just in disagreement.
Okay.
For that, if we haven't gotten too far away, is because I say that because I don't know. I guess for me, when it came to the premise of Final Destination, when I was first getting into the first movie, it was about, of course, death design. So the fact that there was this actual I felt like the depiction of the presence of death, involving itself in what was going on, was I felt like it was depicted really well in the first movie. It was like even in the fact where his with Todd, got hung up in the bathroom and everything like that. It was like the way they would show the water receding back, under the toilet or whatever, so that no one would even suspect that he might have slipped and fell instead of committing suicide or something like that. It's like it doesn't want to make it seem like a weird occurrence happened that killed him. It was almost like something plausible happened that killed him. You know what I'm saying? The stress of, the stress of the situation and things like that. So, he may have killed himself, and of course, around that time, thanks to Heathers and other movies, basically parents were willing to believe that suicide was trending. So, it's easy to think that a teenage kid would want to kill himself, for something, so.
Well, I mean, I do think that scene in the bathtub where the water was receding, I mean, that was ominous, and I will say that was more prevalent in the first movie. That scene also stuck out with me more in the movie, as well as the scene with the teacher where she was just sort of looking at the computer, and the computer monitor kind of blew up in her face. She fell back, and then the kitchen knife sort of fell into her chest. And that scene, like, also stuck with me as well, because she was just like lying there, and then Devin Smith's character came in, pulled the knife out, and it made it look like that he was there, like, to kill her. Just that also stuck out with me.
Because, like I said, it was Dev doing this thing, and it's like, and it's at that point because she was such a jerk. Because to me, she was one of the main jerks in this whole, you know what I'm saying, in this movie, because, you know what I'm saying, in the way that she treated, Brownie, you know what I'm saying. It was, and by the way, also, I just want to say this. I even felt that way back then. Like, I understand what he was trying to do with trying to really be a departure from his role, in Dawson's Creek, you know what I'm saying, as a closeted gay, you know what I'm saying, teenager. But his role was just so, I mean, it was really sore thumb in that movie. And it was really just, I mean, it was just so, it was either so obvious that he wasn't good at playing this guy, or that he was really trying too hard to play that guy.
All right, but quick question I wanted to ask: what did you think of Sean William Scott's death in the first movie?
I think I like the imperfectness of, like, not chopping him right at the, not chopping his head off right at the neck, but kind of going at, like, almost like at the jawline, you know what I'm saying? So it's so, like, an imperfectness to it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you would think
an obtuse angle,
or at least feeling like, you know what, that was really random, so it's not going to be a perfect shot that's going to catch a person right in the neck and decapitate him that way, you know. Well, so I kind of like the touch of that.
I thought his death felt, to be honest, it felt real, because cutting off his head and decapitating his head at the neck would feel, what's the word I'm looking for? It would feel too uniform, because in, like, cinematic and movie deaths, when it involves decapitation, it would always be at the neck, always. But cutting it off at the jawline would feel random. It would feel unpredictable. And I kind of like that they did that, because it would make it feel more realistic. Like, if something were to happen like that in real life, it would be unpredictable. It would be random. And I just, I kind of like that they did it that way. I did.
And folks, and look at the way we do it. Look at what a team that we are. Now, it's like, this is my, like Charles was my translator for, like, the super smart people. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Look at what a team we are. Aren't we awesome?
Hell yeah, guys, we're awesome. Haha.
Like, yeah, he's that's not the way to come off of a super smart, you know, translation like that. You know, that's not the way to come off of that. You know what I'm saying? But okay, but like I said, yeah, my super smart translator right there. So all you people who didn't understand that way, then we have the super smart translation way. See, we're here for all people. And the next thing we need is a Spanish translation of things, and then we'll be on the money.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see if I can remember. I'm trying to remember. There was. Let's see. Yeah.
Oops, that's where you're off track. I'm sorry.
No, I'm trying to remember. Look, I saw this last night, and I was already pretty tired when I watched it. Let's see. Trying to remember. The plane. When they're on the plane. The premonition scene when they're on the plane. Yeah, that was pretty frightening when I saw that, where everybody's screaming and getting sucked out of the plane and dying. So yeah.
I would definitely say that is a hallmark. It's definitely a hallmark and a bit of a common thread through all of the movies where they where at least in one of the more disastrous situations, that person will have a pretty elaborate view of how that'll play out. So I will give them that. They do well to give you, when it comes to that elaborate initial, like that initial terrible thing, like they do give you, like I said, they do give you pretty good ones, what I'm saying, for each. I would definitely say for most of the movies, I would definitely say, but I would definitely say it's just I think with a lot of the other stuff, the other movies, I feel like people were quick. Some people there were still some skeptics, some light skeptics. There were, but then because you had other people to reference from, because you had Clear who basically committed herself to make sure that, to make sure that basically death couldn't get at her no matter what it did. It was like you had something to reference from. You had Browning to reference from because he eventually snapped. So it was like so you had this to reference from, and some people still like skeptics, but you still had some people that were willing to hear it for the most part. Eventually, you got people that were so locked into this that they were starting to feel like that if they took down other people, what I'm saying, it would basically boost their possibilities. And now we've even gotten to a movie where they're actually outright stating that. Like we're almost doing a In Time movie but except with fucking Death's Design.
Wait, In Time, is that movie with Justin Timberlake and Amanda Seyfried?
Yes.
All right.
Are you talking about the new movie now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. How'd we jump there? I was watching Pauly Shore sing a cover of Criminal. I'm sorry.
That's cool. Wait, and that's cool. But we were in the midst of a conversation, and I was letting them know that, yeah. So I mean, I get it that you weren't there and you were watching Pauly Shore's old ass, but that's fine. What I'm saying?
Speaking of which, is the new Final Destination movie out yet?
I don't think
so. What are y'all?
No, it's not out yet. But I do have a question for Stone. Oh,
go ahead.
Knock knock.
What's up?
Oh,
Ewan.
Ewan who?
Don't take the bait. Don't take the bait. Oh God.
Someone had to. It was just gonna hang there like a stink.
Just for the love of God, don't.
So what you were saying about this new one, I like that they're doing this weird in time spin.
Yeah, that possibly killing someone will give you more time.
Well, have they said, where did you get that information from? I am deducing that because they haven't really said anything. I
saw a trailer. I saw a trailer recently.
Well, I saw trailers too, but like,
haven't they already done that already?
No, not really.
Final Destination 5?
That was theory. No, that was theories. That was people's theories.
No. The guy killed in 5. He started killing people. The one dude, who was like the douchey guy, he murdered 2 of the people to get himself out of the way or some shit, but it didn't work or whatever.
Yeah, because it was a theory, but now, like usual, Tony Todd's character, the mortician, is actually coming from his mouth.
Bloodsworth. Okay, so then so he's saying that. Oh, now I see where you're getting it from. I was too shocked at Tony Todd's state in that fucking trailer to like literally I couldn't pay attention to what he's saying because I'm just like, oh my God, that man he's obviously, we know he died since, but like I'm like, holy shit, there's a legend on our screen as a skeleton now. I was just really shaken or whatever, taken aback.
I could not even recognize him.
I know you're racist. You were like, I can't believe they recast him, but they really got a guy who looks like him.
How? Dude. Yes.
I was about to ask who that was. I was like, I think it's Charles, but okay, I have my hands up.
Yeah, all right, fine. Yes. Me saying this, like, they recast Tony Todd's character, didn't they? And yes, that ended up making me sound super racist. And then I was
said it looks just like him.
That is Tony Todd. I was like, oh my God, I'm a fucking racist. I'm like, God damn it.
It's all right. Stone doesn't know the difference between a Brad Renfro and a fucking...
Yeah, it goes both ways.
or a meatloaf and a W. Earl Brown,
Yeah, like
can't tell the difference
I
between
felt
Baby
so
Billy and
that's-
Toddler Billy up
yeah,
there
I
on the
felt
screen.
so goddamn stupid because I couldn't
because maybe
recognize
there's
Tony Todd.
the same way while I'm thinking these bad jokes is getting me thinking I'm on people with Jack Black, but I'm not.
All right, take that.
I had to watch the trailer, I think like 2 or 3 times before I could recognize that was Tony Todd. And
Wait,
when
I'm
I
sorry. Hold on, Charles. I gotta come back for Stone. I gotta get. All right, you ready? Oh yeah. That's it.
Okay, but yeah, I had
That
to
was
watch
awesome.
the trailer like
Shut
2 or
fucking
3
nailed it.
times before I recognized it was Tony Todd. And when I did recognize it was Tony Todd, I was like, holy shit, he actually looks like crap.
Yeah, I was too busy being sad about the dying man.
Yeah, I know. It's
To
just
notice what was coming out of his mouth.
Yeah,
Look,
it's just
look,
he did not look good. He did.
It's weird. I often tell my daughter sometimes about Hollywood. I feel like Hollywood is like one big sandbox where people just kind of do shit that's like really on the fucking. It's like if you really thought about like certain timelines and things and content, like certain things that they do are like really representative of like certain narratives in a way. And it's just like I just feel like if you look, like I even feel like because they knew when we didn't know, like for example, that Chadwick Boseman was, was possibly dying. Like and they knew it and we didn't know it. It's like the way they were so prepared. It's like I feel like they didn't know. And the way they were so prepared with with Wakanda Forever and what that would be, it just shows that they were prepared for it to go the way that it went. To bury T'Challa, not recast it, and basically move on and basically humiliate, Wakanda as they did. I seriously felt that way.
See, I feel it's the opposite. That movie was a massive hit. They were really hoping to push Black Panther as like the next star of the MCU.
But they always knew, Jim. I'm telling you, they always knew that he had cancer, even if we didn't know. We as the public,
I thought I read that he lied to everybody. That only his brother knew. That's what I thought I read. I could be wrong, because I don't look much into it. But that I did read that only his brother knew up until about a week before he died.
He would say things in interviews where he felt like, he would say things like he wanted the character of Black Panther to live on, even beyond him. Like he was making reference to and what I felt like to it like being recast, or even when he can't do it anymore, to like somebody else to be able to carry on that mantle that he wanted to be something that where somebody else can kind of carry on the way Superman, the way Spider-Man, so on and so forth. And you know what I'm saying? When you think about what happened, it feels like more like it was alluding. He was alluding to something in his own way, you know what I'm saying, to the public, even though he wasn't telling them what the fuck he was actually dealing with. But I'm
reading here that this Marvel, Ryan Coogler, the co-stars, that says here nobody knew he had cancer.
I understand that, and you can only go by what they're, what they're posting and what they're saying is documented. But what I'm telling you is that I've seen interviews where he's really had these deep, he's like giving these speeches where he's spoken about Black Panther being like a legacy that he wants to carry on even beyond him. And I'm not saying that he was like giving a situation like he was dying or it happens very soon after that. But what I'm saying is, like, when
I
you
did see those interviews though. Those were him saying specifically recast the role. This role needs to continue on.
Yeah, and it just made me feel like it kind of gave me an eerie feeling, like, because if had no other reason that he knew, even if it is like that, only him and his brother knew, I just felt like it was something that he made public statements to make sure that regardless, that it was made clear that, hey, this is something that I kind of want to be held up in the way that other superhero characters are held up, and that other people can play it. It could be other movies made and things like that, and so on and so forth. And you may look at it from a certain perspective, but I feel like when you couple that with the fact that he would end up dying eventually soon after, it just makes you feel like it was something more than just the business aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. It's more about a legacy that he wanted to create, even if it's like one of the last things that he did.
Wow. So this is pretty sad stuff, though. He auditioned in 2014 for Black Panther, got the role in 2016, about the same time he got diagnosed with the cancer. And during the whole filming of Black Panther, he was secretly getting chemotherapy and cancer surgeries throughout the whole filming.
I seriously, I mean, again, it's hard for me to counteract this and do and show anything to prove otherwise.
I agree with you.
Anybody didn't know, but I just feel like it's
they
hard.
Had to know. They test you with insurance and shit. Like they had to have fucking. Yeah. They've done blood work. They had to, unless he said no to the blood work. But
I feel like being part of a $1 billion machine like that, there's probably something in the contract where it's like you have to disclose certain things because they don't want to be blindsided by, things that might fuck with their plans.
But he might have signed the contract right before his diagnosis,
yeah.
I mean, but still, I just feel like basically, I feel like more than anything, I just feel like just go with me on this. I just feel like the possibility of just like business and personal things kind of mixing into the situation. Like, what if it was like, I feel like, look, they didn't want to make anybody implicit and make anybody seem one way or another. So maybe the report is, only him and his brother knew. But I feel like the production studio, Coogler, they all knew. And I think the thing was, we want to make sure that the public doesn't know, because we want to see, can this movie work just on the basis of what this movie was about and who's in it and how we did everything, and not but the fact that he has cancer and he's dying, and are we getting a sympathy pop, on this movie?
No, you're 9,000% probably right. I can't see any reality where you're wrong on this, but not the official story. But
yeah, of course,
pretty positive you're right.
That's all I'm saying. Like, this is a theory. I know, again, but we are, if we're nothing else, if nothing that we do and nothing that we are part of is nothing else, is that we're conspiracy conversation open at the very least. We're at least open to conspiracy conversation here and wherever channels that we.
Yeah, unless it's about frozen grapes, and then it's like, shut up, Jim. Shut up, Jim. You're gross, Jim.
Again, because like I said, we got to be clear before we just, again, but again, we know you, Jim, so we have to be able to operate in a way that's very efficient before the joke goes awry and we go down the rabbit hole and we don't get to the actual message of why we were talking about grapes in the first place. So
we got to stop you before someone eats the grapes, is what you're saying.
Okay. I see that's the thing. That's the thing we're trying to avoid in this situation. We're trying to make sure that Damien's channel doesn't eat the grape. Okay.
All right. I'm very excited for Avengers Doomsday. Just to say, Doomsday.
Why are you excited for that?
Dr. Doom is like my favorite comic book character. Doom 2099
by Robert Downey Jr., which doesn't make any sense.
It does, based on comics. There is a comic arc where Tony Stark is fucking Doom. I don't know if it's a what if or
yeah, I can't remember either, but it did happen.
Doom, my entire life, has felt like Robert Downey Jr. under that mask. Long before Robert Downey Jr. was even like, well, I guess he was always a thing in my lifetime, but before he was obviously associated with the MCU, in my brain, the comic book character Doom, you take that mask off, it's what's his name? Robert Downey Jr. Possibly because when they have taken his mask off, he looks a little like him. But I think Junior will make a good Doom, personally. That said, it's not a mask. It's not an out of mask role. Like he better be in that mask pretty fucking frequently. Most of the time. If it's like a whole fucking we got to look at his face situation for most of the movie, I will be annoyed and not like it.
Well, yeah, because like I could probably count the amount of times I've seen Doom without a mask on not even a hand, like half a hand. It's pretty much never happened.
Yeah, it's few and far between.
And I want his costume to be good. His costume.
Well, I got a picture of it right now. It doesn't look that great. So it's somewhat. So this is not even just one story. It's somewhat difficult to figure out what the first story is, where Tony becomes Doctor Doom. But the one that is often cited as the first is the Iron Man of Exiles number 23. Where an alternate version of Tony Stark with no empathy comes and he ends up becoming Doctor Doom or whatever. But there are actually, in the 75-year history of Marvel Comics, there are countless variations of body swap and alternate reality plot lines where there are versions of Doctor Doom who is actually Tony Stark. So it's a thing.
That's what we're dealing with Marvel right now, the whole multiverse thing.
Yeah, and look, it's the best thing they could have done because now you get to honor every fandom. You get to honor the Golden Age, the Bronze Age. You know what I'm saying? So you get to honor all the different eras. Did they even ever go beyond the Silver Age or just the Dead Age after that? I don't know. The Copper Age.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm not sure.
But I mean, now I gotta Google that.
But currently in comics, Doom has stolen Doctor Strange's title. He stole the whole. What does he call himself?
That's awesome.
Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, he stole the whole Sorcerer Supreme thing from Strange. That's like their the big sort of event thing right now, which came out of another event called Blood Hunt, which is a whole vampire thing. Blade and Moon Knight and whatnot.
Yeah, speaking of that, they need to figure out their shit with what they're going to be doing with Blade.
Quick interjection. We no longer have ages. It's just the modern age. That's it. Ever since 1986, we've been in the modern age of comics.
Okay.
Go ahead. Back to Blade.
Yeah, but no, it's just like Mahershala Ali, I would not be surprised, is pissed because of how long it's been taking them to get Blade off the ground.
Are you saying it right, or is it Mahashala? Because
I think it's Mahershala.
That sounds right. Too much like Mashugala, or like it doesn't sound like a real name. Mashugala.
It's Mahershala Ali.
That doesn't sound like a real name.
I've heard it pronounced Mahershala Ali.
I've only ever seen it written down, but that does sound right.
Yeah, I think it's Mahershala Ali, but I think I wouldn't be surprised if he's pissed off because of how long it's been taking Blade to get off the ground.
I mean, of course, it's been what, like 7-8 years since they first announced it?
Yep, around that. It's been almost 10 years since they announced
that long. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Which is like, of all the things you're gonna do, like Blade is pretty much one of the more straightforward things.
Yeah. And it's an easy win if you want to do diversity and representation. It is easy for that. Because the main character is black.
You're looking at how to pronounce the name of this excellent American actor, as well as how to say more confusing celebrity names that many get wrong. Stay tuned to the channel to learn more. Mahershala Ali. Mahershala Ali. Easy. Mahershala Ali.
I was right.
There you go.
Yep. Mahershala Ali.
Well, I thank you. Thank you.
But
yeah, just so you guys know, what is it? What the fuck was that show called? Nerds Are Talking Geeks. What the fuck was the name of the show we were doing in lieu of Alpha Pod Rants?
I think it was Nerds Are Talking Star Trek.
Yeah, but that sounds stupid, doesn't it? Like it sounded great, but now all of a sudden that sounds really dumb. Nerds are talking.
I think that's what we decided. I think that is exactly what we decided.
Well, hopefully, Charles Whedon, are we going to talk Strange New Worlds when it returns?
As far as I know, yes.
There's your answer, Richard Kish. So stay tuned, folks. Hashtag stay tuned.
I mean, I was planning on talking about it. I don't know about you guys, but I was going to.
I would talk about it in the corner to myself. If I mean, you know. So
I'm going to talk to a brick wall about Star Trek: Strange New Worlds.
I'm going to talk to the guy at my local laundromat. Who I have a laundromat. I think I've told you guys about this.
That homeless guy that was lingering outside.
No, he's looks like Ned Flanders. I'm like almost positive he's a homosexual. He's as denim as they come, and the mustache like no other. And this laundromat only plays Star Trek on the TVs, so I go out of my way to. So when I said local, it's not quite local. It's about 40 minutes away, but I go out of my way to do laundry.
You drive 45 minutes to do your laundry?
Well, my other option,
Star Trek.
yeah, my other option is maybe it's only about a 30-minute, not really 45, 35, 37 minutes. Bong 37. But
in a row.
The other laundromat is probably 23 minutes away. And I don't like that one. So yeah.
So
it's much nicer, but I don't like it.
You could drive 23 minutes to do laundry, or you could drive 45 minutes to do laundry and watch Star Trek.
Yeah, but I don't watch the Star Trek. I do my laundry and then I go sit in the car and smoke weed. I put the laundry in. I just go and
I was gonna say, like, if it was just the Star Trek, you could just pull that up on your phone.
You know, I don't even. I've never watched Star Trek there. I just like that it's playing. That's all. I just like that it's
just like, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I respect that.
And it's just the original series too, on loop. It's not like all of Star Trek in variety. It's just the original series, and this fucking Ned Flanders motherfucker just sits there staring at it and loves it. He's the one who told me Kirk is going to be over at the original set near us here.
So that's your inside source.
Yeah. I wouldn't find out these things. You got to know about nerds. So yeah, and this dude's he fucking owns a goddamn Star Trek laundromat, and he's never seen Discovery or Strange New Worlds or any of the new shit.
Because he's a true Star Trek fan.
I'm like, yeah, clearly. It's like, get out of your fucking. If you're a true Star Trek fan, you need to watch Strange New Worlds because it's the closest. Strange New Worlds bridges everything Star Trek from the original series until now. It bridges it all into one perfect fucking medley. But anywho. So there's your answer, Richard Rish. There's your answer. Hey, Damien, won't you please join us on this new Star Trek podcast, Damien?
Oh, with all that knowledge I have.
Yes, all that.
I'm not going to say no, but I'm going to have a lot of questions.
Well, I mean, you know, we definitely need someone to replace what's his name, that one guy. Shit, forgot his name. But anyway,
I ruined the franchise. What the hell?
No, listen, Richard Kish, Charles Whedon did not ruin the franchise. We all know who ruined the Alpha Pod Rants franchise. TEE-HEE. Snark.
I did not ruin the franchise. We all know who ruined the franchise.
Watch your mouth, you dirty little pig.
Scott Bakula.
Dirty little pig. Oink, oink. Yeah, Dumbledore dies, by the way.
I've already read the book. It's not a spoiler. And anyone who hasn't read the books by now is just slacking.
Got any good spoilers of right now? Dexter died twice.
I don't care about Dexter. I haven't even finished.
I do. And Jim, did you see July?
I cannot wait to see Peter Dinklage crawl up inside of Dexter and fucking pop out his gut like the alien. I can't wait for Dexter's third death.
That's the only plot line I can imagine happening there.
Seriously though, Leon Prater, great name for a main killer, and just having Dinklage as the main killer is very awesome, but I feel it could be distracting. I don't think people are over their midget racism yet. I think they're still.
I don't think society will ever be.
Wait, hold on. So you're telling me that the main killer in the current Dexter show is Peter Dinklage?
And Uma Thurman.
You do realize
And
that if
Kristen
you have
Ritter,
Peter Dinklage charging at you because he wants to kill you, all you have to do is hold your arm up and just hold back his head.
Yeah, but you do realize Uma Thurman's a tall bitch.
That's true.
So, like, you got both angles covered. What'd you say, Damien?
It was some mangled feet.
Yeah, I was gonna say something, but I didn't think I'd be able to. I didn't think that'd be, polite. Because
I'm surprised you both know this. I have no idea about her feet. Look, I usually
Well,
look
if
away.
you've ever seen Kill Bill, it's like a 3-minute scene. Yeah.
Yeah, watch Kill
Trying
Bill.
to get her feet to work, and you have to stare at them for like it. I might not even be that far off. I swear it was like 3 minutes, maybe more.
I never liked Kill Bill. I watched parts of it, and everybody around me was like transfixed to the screen. Like you could see that yellow and black jumpsuit in their fucking eyes reflecting, and they were just like anime characters. And I was just looking around like, what the fuck are you people watching and loving? So it's just a fucking it's like an amalgamation of a bunch of different fucking Hong Kong films from the 70s. Like,
well, sure, but done really well.
Maybe I didn't give it a chance.
Yeah, Uma Thurman is a beautiful woman, but she has some seriously messed up feet.
She's a fantastic actress, though. If you doubt that, watch her one scene. It's one of the best scenes of acting ever. Take her scene from Nymphomaniac and what's his name, Michael Parks in Tusk, and you've got fucking. You could have acting classes based off of just those two performances. They're fucking phenomenal. But yeah, what she did in Nymphomaniac, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know, but I remember it being super fantastic, like an Oscar-worthy performance.
That was the Lars von Trier trilogy, right?
The two films, but yes.
Two films, okay.
I mean, I liked her in Gattaca. I thought she was good in that.
Never seen it.
I had to watch it so many times for something in high school.
I haven't seen Gattaca in years, but I remember enjoying it.
Yeah, I remember liking it. Just,
Ethan
being
Hawke?
forced to watch it so many
Ethan
times.
Hawke was in it too. Yeah.
Weren't they married or something, Uma and Ethan?
I think so, yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah, definitely. Because they've got a kid, like, is it Maya Hawke?
Oh, yeah.
They have two.
Maya Hawke is Uma Thurman's daughter. I knew it was obviously Ethan Hawke's daughter.
They have a son.
Realize Uma Thurman's daughter.
They have a son.
Yeah, well, fuck him.
He was in Blink Twice, asshole.
Never seen Blink Twice, and I missed that. They had a son. Yeah, what do you think about that?
Does he wear a pink dress?
Fuck. That was terrible.
Does he wear a pink dress and have an OnlyFans?
No.
Damn.
Yo.
I mean, great.
Yo.
I mean, I don't know.
Doodly-doo. Breaking news. Breaking television news. Did anybody know Dead City comes out tomorrow?
Yes, I definitely knew before right now.
I also knew before right now, but I did not know at least in the last month. I had no fucking idea we were anywhere near Dead City, let alone this is the first time in what is this? My son was pretty much just born and he's like 22. So has Walking Dead really been around about 20 years now? Is this for real?
Yeah, probably would like 2008 or 9. I think it started.
Holy shit! Holy,
Maybe
2010.
2007. That's
2010.
okay. Okay, yeah.
So we got 15 years. This is the first time in 15 years anything Walking Dead related has come out and slipped under my radar.
I still haven't seen the second season of Daryl Dixon yet.
Sorry, what are you back? Are you getting coffee? Which is it, Richard? Which is it? Are you back? Or are you getting the coffee? You're being confusing. Second season of Daryl Dixon was fantastic. Daryl Dixon is probably the best show of the series franchise.
I love that first season. I lost interest in the main show. I can't really exactly pinpoint when, as far as the season goes, but
I can. When they
I know
the tiger, when they took down of all the ridiculous things, the tiger's what got me. You're gonna tell me 10 zombies are gonna take down a fucking tiger? No,
sir.
But anyway, you were saying I'm really still upset about that big time.
Yeah, I don't know. I lost track. But either way, I lost interest in that main series. But yeah, Dixon brought me back to be like, okay, yeah. But there is some great stuff to be done with this franchise.
In the right hands, and which is
out
of Scott Gimple's hands, clearly. But what sucks is watching this and saying, yes, this is Walking Dead at its finest. This is the show that 15 years ago I started watching and was like, man, I can't wait for this to be over and rewatch it with my children. You know what I mean? I've tried to rewatch it. I can't get past season 2, 3. It's just like I hate it.
Yeah,
just
pretty much past that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it becomes so fucking boring.
Look, the last 2 seasons,
characters just cycle in and out. Like people you largely don't care about, and it just the people you do care about, pretty much they do something great, then die instantly, and it's just,
yeah, they did definitely look. They had to make up for their rule of only allowing one black man on the show at a time, and then like literally killing off. That it was crazy how for like 4 or 5 seasons, it would be one black man on the show, and then the second another black man shows up, that other black man dies. Fucking insane.
That was definitely rough. I think I watched a little bit longer, but roughly the point when I was like, okay, fuck this show completely, was when the guy he was in The Expanse and The Wire. He had a beard.
Chad Coleman.
I think so. Yes, he beat a whole bunch of. Yeah, he beat a whole bunch of zombies to death with his bare hands to save the baby, and then just died like immediately. I was like, okay, yeah, fuck that. I'm done with this.
Yeah,
bullshit show.
Bro, that is one of the best characters from the comic book. They could have done so much with Tyrese, and they didn't even let him have his hammer practically. I think he picked up his hammer maybe a few times, but he was supposed to go crazy with that hammer on zombies, and we just never got to see it, and it sucked. Like Tyrese was the beginning of the end of the show for me. That was my first sign of like, all right, this show is not honoring the source material. It's one thing to vary from the source material. That's great, but still honor it. And it wasn't. You're flubbing a character like Tyrese. You're flubbing his backstory. Just everything about Tyrese. You cast him wonderfully. You got a great actor to play him, but you just fucked up the story every possible way you could. That was the beginning of the end for me. And then I think Andrea was another one. And then, of course, the fake out deaths with Glenn. That was a whole other thing. Then the killing fucking Abraham when they the tiger. But then finally, Carl was definitely the last straw where I was like, this show's dead to me. Because they killed Carl in such the wrong way. He never was supposed to die at all. This is supposed to be Carl's story.
Yeah, I didn't even get that far.
It's just so, dude, they killed Carl in the most stupid of ways, just the most pointless death. And then right after the actor fucking bought a house over there, enrolled in college out there, everything was just told by production, yep, you're good. You know, he's basing it off of producers telling him he's still got a job and the source material telling him he's about to become the star of the show. And right as he's about to become the star of the show, nah, get out of here, kid. I really shady.
Yeah.
Really shady. I love this show. Can I tell you guys? I do. I love that the shows are always about, it's like the Final Destination episode. And whatever the fucking topic of the show is, usually is talked about the least of any other topic on this show.
maybe 20% at best.
You guys literally have my favorite show on the internet.
Like there's certain things we've got, like Dark was very much one of those shows we got into that was pretty much all consuming. I'm sure we deviated a bit, but there's certain things we've gotten into that have really taken over because they have to. But largely, yeah, it's like a 20% what the topic is, and then just whatever.
So I take this opportunity to shout out Creepy Aunt Martha.
You're gonna have to. Oh! I know it's from Dark. I was watching those episodes. That's right.
Yeah. It was like, hey, Damien name dropped Dark, so I was like, yep, Creepy Aunt Martha.
And didn't someone try to bang
Creepy
Aunt Martha?
Freaky, it wasn't creepy. It was freaky.
Freaky. It's freaky because didn't you double down on the freaky name because she did some weird sex stuff too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember listening to that, and I was like, that's the part I tuned in on. When you guys were going in on Freaky Aunt Martha and somebody who finally banged her or something. I don't quite remember, but I just remember like, what the fuck is this show? What the fuck are these people? This sounds like a fucking, it sounds like a soap opera for psychopaths.
This is why I don't like time travel.
Oh, it's a time travel movie?
It's a time travel show, yes.
Motherfucker. That's what I meant. Show, movie.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what show I watched based on a movie? The Four Seasons with Steve Carell and Coleman Domingo. Coleman Domingo. What did I call the other guy's name who plays Tyrese? Chad Coleman. Okay. I got confused. I thought I mislabeled him. Coleman Domingo from also Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead. He played Victor Strand. It's based on a movie written by Alan Alda in 1981, starring him and Carol Burnett. But in the roles of Alan Alda and Carol Burnett in this series, we had Tandy, what's his name? Will Forte, Tandy from Last Man on Earth, and Tina Fey. They played the title couple. It was a very watchable program. Highly recommended if you have absolutely nothing to do.
Who, me?
Anybody. Like if you've got nothing going on in your life at all.
Oh, so yes, me.
Yes, you. Watch this movie. Watch this show. Because it's not, look, you got fucking Will Forte is great. And I mean, he's playing his closest version of like Tandy meets a real person. So it's like a mix between his weirdness and being real. Steve Carell's okay in it. Coleman Domingo, I mean, he's a fine actor. To be as flaming as he is in real life and as debonair as he is on screen, that takes some fucking masterful acting. And that's not meant as an offense. I just mean he's super fucking flamboyant. Not as flamboyant as teenage Tupac, but close.
It's not a backhanded compliment. It's more like an angular-handed compliment.
Yes.
Flamboyant as teenage Tupac? What the fuck?
It's a compliment from an obtuse angle. You've never seen. Listen, I don't. Last time I talked about this in front of Stone, he yelled at me. He told me, "How dare you?" He told me, "You go F yourself, you little stupid jerk." Then he called me Jack Black, and then he fucking hopped off on a broomstick and rode away into the sky.
Yeah, that all tracks.
I mean, I will admit, in a certain light, you actually do kind of look like Jack Black.
Look, when that motherfucker came, I'm tired. Look, the second that little jerk showed up, everybody would walk up to me and go, "Hey, I seen you. There's a guy now who's just like you. He acts just like you, and he looks just like you." Strangers too. They wouldn't tell me the act part, but they would be like, "Hey, are you that guy who's on TV now in that Silverman movie?" I'm like, no, go fuck yourself.
Okay, I have to ask. Has anyone ever asked you to say chicken jockey?
Chicken jockey. No. But you know who they have asked to say chicken jockey? Matt Berry. And actually, Damien, I don't know. We were saving this for our show. That'll never happen. So I think maybe it's an exclusive piece of material. We don't have the recording from the booth because apparently the mics weren't on in the booth. But one of our spies did get us an exclusive leaked audio of Matt Berry auditioning for the Minecraft movie, because you know he was up for the role of Steve, Charles, that Jack Black plays.
Yeah, yes, I know this.
Yes, so he actually auditioned for the role, and we have real exclusive leaked audio playing right now.
I'm sitting down. Are you ready in the booth? All right. Lines for the Minecraft movie by Matt Berry. Chicken jockey. Someone? No? Chicken jockey. Chicken jockey. No, none of these seem quite... What's the context of this?
Chicken jockey.
What do you mean you don't know? Oh, forget it. Chicken jockey. Chicken jockey? Is it a question or an exclamation? Well, it doesn't quite say. It just says chicken jockey. Do the line. One more. Chicken jockey. Now, none of these seem... What do you mean you've got it? When? Which one?
Chicken jockey.
Oh, forget it. What the fuck is International Rangoon? And why is this check written out for $5? Wait a second. Is that Canadian dollars? I came all the way to Arizona for $5. I'm sitting down. Are you ready in the booth?
Oops, why is he not leaving? So that was we actually paid a few Damien's on. We actually paid a pretty penny to get that spy in the studio for that. I'm we're able to. That's all I'm saying.
Ow.
Gay. Oh, uh-oh. We got another casualty. I guess we get.
Yeah.
I guess we'll get Damien back in a sec.
Yep.
We'll just sit here quietly until he returns.
Oh no way, man!
Am I gonna have to do the dead air dance again?
Didn't you guys talk about watching Millennium? Richard Kish says, I wish I could get you guys to watch Millennium. Great series. Lance was tremendous.
Yes, we constantly talked about that, just never committed.
So can Richard Kish join you guys and make it happen? A special Millennium episode with Richard. Shut up, you little jerk, Richard. That's a spoiler. Delete that. Delete that. Idiot. Yes. You're still playing God. Why would I hire anybody else to play God when I have this man? Look at his face right there. Why would I hire anyone else to play God? It sounds silly. Maybe you'll play the Satan. Maybe I'll get somebody more Satan-y to play God, and that'll be the spin. But either way, you're still in it. You're still the king. The whole thing's tethered around you, Richard. It's going to be shot in your home area. I mean, the whole thing is about you. It's all about you, Richard. Yeah, you're still there. Sitting quietly.
Really, I'd rather not. Really, I'd rather just make a little. I want to at least take a moment while we're still on live here to at least state what I meant, to at least elaborate on what I meant about Netflix's gender-based racial problem.
I would love to hear this.
Oh my God, I swear they have an issue like the critically acclaimed Netflix show You, and another show that I've watched on Netflix.
No, did they make Joanne and she's like a sassy black woman now? Great. Jack A playing Joe.
No. Okay. They have an issue with straight black men on that show. And
are they all gay on that show?
Most of them are. They haven't. A black guy that's appeared on any season of You, apart from the first, hasn't been. You know what I'm saying? Hasn't been. It says have all been gay, and the one guy and the one big light skinned black guy, or at least biracial guy, who was straight. He was barely straight. I mean, I'm not saying like he was bisexual. I'm just saying like he was damn near
a little light in the loafers.
No, he was an incel.
So he might as well be one of them. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like there is a disturbing trend though of a lot of the gay men on TV now are often being portrayed by black men. Like they're really pushing that, and that goes well. You already know what I'm going to say here, Stone. Put on the dress. It's what I've been saying for the last 15 years. Hollywood,
but see,
feminize black men.
Okay, but that right there is a whole nother conversation involving comedians and all that other shit.
No, that involves all actors. Any black man on screen, they want to feminize and weaken.
I get it. I get that, but it's not even a feminized thing. See, it's not even a feminized thing. It's like basically like it was always said. You know, and it's all about how we carry the conversations. It's like it was always said that seeing straight black men in movies was not a representation, you know, saying of gay black men to gay black men. So they would never feel like they were represented just because they were straight black men being depicted.
Well, that's their fault for hiding in the fucking mall bathroom and being down low about it. Let's just be honest.
Okay.
That community does not want representation. The gay black community.
That is a fucking lie. That's a fucking lie.
Listen, this isn't something I'm making up. The black community and the homosexual community do not mix well.
But that's because of you know what I'm saying, religious. That's because of religious indoctrination that did a lot of that, man.
Sure. And also because of the things that were put out into society, like what it means. Look, if you look back at Harlem in 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, up until they started flooding it with crack and the illegitimate capitalism, the shit the 5%ers used to preach about in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Or like those what would you call, what were the 5%ers called? What was their religion called? I forget. Shit.
That's really what it was, because it really wasn't, because it was really just it really was a spin on, like, everything's a spin on something else. So that was really more of a spin on Muslim, you know what I'm saying, on Islam religion, where we're just centering on, you know,
it was mixed with Jewish too, because like they were supposed to originally be the original Jews as well.
No, those are the Israelites, Jim.
Black Israelites. That's right.
Yes, that's them. But the 5% are different.
I'm mixing my metaphors.
Yeah, they're centering the 5% center on the man, the human being, like being gods. You know what I'm saying? Not being an image of God, but being gods themselves. You know what I'm saying? And things like that. So that's what the whole 5%er thing was all about. You know what I'm saying? And so it's that whole different thing. It's weird. I still have my issues with both of them, so it's really hard to converse on that stuff.
There was a ton of indoctrination though during that time to what it means to be a black man.
Not then. I'm talking, man. When I say religious indoctrination, I'm talking about Baptists. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about Baptists. You know what I'm saying?
I know
A good
what
old Baptist
I agree
church,
with that
Church
as
of
well.
God in Christ. But I'm talking about in the black community it's really different, and they really, you know what I'm saying, and it's like, and they really, and it makes them homophobic. It's the indoctrination of black churches in the black community that makes black people, you know what I'm saying, that makes black people homophobic towards gay people.
I agree with that. It's the Baptist, whatever. It's the actual church. Plus, it's the other sect that the ones who didn't go to church, they got caught up by all the other indoctrination, the crack wave, the preacher, the street preacher wave, where it wasn't like preaching religion, but preaching this new idea of what it means to be a man. Which, you know,
I have to give way to you because you did live in New York, and there's a lot of variation on that present. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you know what I'm saying, the city out there and the way shit was, you know what I'm saying, with religion and with a lot of different things. I get where you're coming from, you know what I'm saying, on that. You know what I'm saying? So I do have to give way to what you're saying on that part. But overall, it's a, you know what I'm saying, when I come like even my community over here and things like that, man, it was always that stuff, and almost everybody had a gay family member, but it was like, but religion still made you homophobic, which basically essentially created closeted gay people because of the indoctrination of religion. And then everybody finds their own way because religion was, especially in the black community, was always hard, you know what I'm saying, hard pressing from your, you know what I'm saying, from your grandma on down, really. And it was really just us that kind of broke that cycle, really. Like, you know what I'm saying, like in my generation where we started to break the, you know what I'm saying, the cycle really well.
The
really
cycle's still being broken, let's be honest, you know.
But what I'm saying is, as far as that whole religious, you know what I'm saying, religion being such a part of your life, Bible study and all of that shit during the week, and then still going to church on Sundays and all the other involvement and everything like that, that shit went by the wayside probably by the time I was born. My mom wasn't really doing a lot like that, and then she tried to get back into it. But you know what I'm saying? If it's not who you are, and you're not really locked in on that, you're just not going to be that. And eventually she just wasn't that anymore. You know what I'm saying? So even in retirement, and when she has more time to do it, to my knowledge, she's not doing it. So it's just like, you know, my aunt does it. She lives with her, and she's more involved like that. But it's just the point is, it's just that basically a lot of times with the times rising, it's a lot less of that, but you still have a lot of older people and mid-range people that are still holding on to that homophobia because, you know what I'm saying, because it's basically holding on to religion because they have very little else to kind of stand on or to kind of feel like it's a legacy or a part in their life or whatever. So, but I mean, it doesn't make it any less misguided, but I mean,
you know who handled this really well? You're gonna make fun of me, but who handled this exact topic? Pretty much everything we're talking about is the basis of the most recent or the second to most recent Medea movie. They really too bad you're a tiny little picture and your face is covered, but I can see backstage the disdain. They handled that topic very, very well.
I'm trying my best not to find a reason to stop Cam and go and do something else because I don't really have anything else to do right now.
Are you going to be this way about the Uncle Joe movie that's about to come out?
The who?
No, Medea.
I am so tired. Look, Jim. What I would ask you to do, what I've done for you, Jim. Okay.
What, you want me to buy 2 tickets to the Uncle Joe movie?
Jim, I would like for you. I would like for you to, Jim. What I would like for you to do is listen to me right now, because what I did for you, Wu-Tang was one of my favorite groups. You know what I'm saying? And the split off, especially Gravediggers. If I could say there was anybody that was probably could be a favorite of mine more than the Wu-Tang Clan, it was Gravediggers. But you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to say this, man. I had to take consideration into what I felt about the Wu-Tang Clan when you would let me know your personal experience with, you know what I'm saying, with the music of Wu-Tang Clan and what it felt like for you. So
and more Gravediggers on that, because they were the ones, especially that third album. Like, you know, they were the ones really pushing that, you know, kill the white, cut that white snake's head off. You know.
Well, okay. Well, see, now you got it. Now you got to give some grace to Gravediggers, Jim, because that's horrorcore, and you know they're going to go there like that. So you know, it's a little different. You got to give them some grace on
both
that.
of them, because we never at that time we knew what the white man meant. It didn't mean white people. The white devil wasn't white people.
But yet and still, if you're a young kid and you're listening to them, you know what I'm saying? I can understand how you didn't feel great about that. You know what I'm saying? I can really understand how you didn't feel great about that. I really had to take a step back and realize.
Makes you feel the same way?
BET and Tyler Perry's contribution to BET makes me feel that way. You know what I'm saying, Jim? And if you just watch a little bit of BET, you'll understand what I'm talking about. I've
never watched BET in my life because it's run by Jews. Because they're Jews.
Jim, that's a real short-sighted way of avoiding what you know. What I'm saying, of avoiding my point.
No, I'll do it for you. I'll do what you want.
No. But what I'm saying is, don't do that. I mean, that whole Jew thing. We don't want to have that Jew conversation right now. You know what I'm saying?
We're not. I'm just saying that's why I've never watched BET.
No, but that's.
It's a company exploiting black people. It's run by non-black people, and it exploits black people.
But it was sold by a black person, Jim, and they put it in a light-skinned black person to basically oversee the hypocrisy of that, you know, of that channel. So I get what you're saying, but you got to stop. You got to stop laying it on like for real. It's a trip that I'm saying this, but you got to stop laying it all on their feet, man. Some other people got to share their blame. It ain't just them, man.
It doesn't matter that they're Jews. It could have been the Italian. Look, if Italians, were the ones who fucking owned BET and were putting it out, I'd be saying because it's owned by Italians and not blacks.
But what I'm saying, it never would have been in Viacom's hands if a black man hadn't sold it to him, Jim.
I know that man's a jerk.
He's more than a jerk, Jim. He's you know what I'm saying? He's a traitor. You know what I'm saying? He's a traitor and he's sick. And Deborah, you know what I'm saying? And Deborah, I forget her damn last name. She's evil. There, you know what I'm saying?
I think we're saying the exact same thing.
No, but you're laying it all at the feet of the Jews, man. And that just cannot be.
No, I'm saying it has nothing to do with the Jew. It just so happens that the owners were, again, let's just say non-black. The non-black owners of that company are my problem.
I get it. It's you're still saying the same thing, but the point is that the point I'm trying to tell you is that I'm not asking you to watch it.
There was not one Sieg Heil in there, so I don't know what you're saying.
No, I'm not asking you to watch it. I'm not asking you to watch BET. I'm asking you to skim over BET to see the type of shit programming that Tyler Perry has contributed to that network.
I know. I won't watch. I have to this day never watched Tyler Perry on BET because it's fucking garbage. I wish I could. It'd be nice to put on House of Pain or
what? See, that's what I'm talking about with you, man. Like if you did, you would understand the garbage that it really is. It's not garbage because it's owned by a non-black entity, Jim. It's trash because it's trash because Tyler Perry made it and he makes garbage content.
Trash. I said I never watched. My history with BET, I never watched it because
of the non-white entity.
I knew it was owned by non-black people. And we knew since the 90s that they were putting out propaganda to brainwash the black community with dribble. That was a known,
bro. But see, bro, that's the thing we cannot do here. That, you know what I'm saying? It's not just them. It's not just you and I had this conversation a long time ago, and when I let you know that I was that I was a modern anarchist, and I can't sit here and say no, it's not just the white people, no, it's not just the Jewish people, no, it's not just the black nobility wanting their colonies back, no, it's not just it's all of them. It's traitor ass black people too. Like it's not just the Jewish people brainwashing the black peoples, and it's just not that, Jim. It's not just we're not in the 80s. It's not just them doing that. It's everybody being complicit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying any of that. I'm not saying it's just because of the whole thing I'm literally agreeing with everything you.
No, but you're agreeing, but you're agreeing heavy on a certain concentrated type that's at the helm of this, and I can't agree with you
putting
on
that
that.
in my mouth. I said in the beginning, in the 90s,
that they are running propaganda, that they are running propaganda to brainwash the black community. And the black community is and there's several influential people in the black community over the last couple of decades that have been all too willing to brainwash and indoctrinate and scam and, you know what I'm saying, and basically subjugate people themselves. Is what I'm telling you.
I never said that's not the case. All I said was in the 1990s, I made the decision not to watch BET
cool. And I'm glad
it was run by non-whites putting out propaganda. And that was something I learned from the black community.
And I'm glad for you. And I wish I had came to that realization sooner, but I was younger at that time and still naive. But what I'm saying to you is I'm not trying to defend BET or its content. What I'm saying is you made a blanket decision just because of an entity's involvement not to watch BET, not simply because you know for a fact that the content up there is garbage. You're sitting here saying
literally what I'm saying.
No, you are literally saying that you would like to watch House of Pain, but I'm telling you that show is garbage.
If it wasn't trash, if the show wasn't trash, I would love to watch House of Pain because I like the characters.
And that's where I disagree with you greatly, because it's not about the entities that are involved in BET that makes that show garbage. It's about it's the characters that he created that makes that show garbage. It's about the way they act and what they do that makes that show garbage. There's no real person like Curtis. There's no real people like this, man.
Look, you're missing Mrs. Brown's house, and it's something I didn't quite understand myself. Look, what they're doing isn't just. It's not normal fare. It's not just like a regular show. They're doing a specific type of theatrical art form.
Slapstick?
Yeah, it's close to slapstick. And again, bringing Mrs. Brown's house from Ireland over to that one Medea movie, that really showed what they're doing. They're doing this bit of an over-the-top theatrical thing. It works in film. When you try to turn that into a
works
sitcom,
in plays.
It works in plays. It works for me in film. Most of what I love about Medea movies is the unevenness of them. How the tone just jumps.
Yeah, I bet you. Yeah, you're having a fucking ball. You're having a fucking ball with his movies. Goddamn,
I fucking love it.
The unevenness is all over the place.
They're the best movies to watch and be like, "What the fuck am I watching?" But when you try to convert that into a sitcom, there's no chance that's going to work. So that's what sucks, is that I would love a show based on the Medea universe that was like the movies, but what they're doing with these characters sucks because it's just more BET dribble.
Because he doesn't have enough talent. He doesn't have enough talent and foresight to really flesh those characters out, Jim. For real. Like, you just take the House of Pain alone. Like, they're so limited in who they are, man. They're so limited in who they are, and that's why it's become so tired and laggy. Like who is Curtis now that he's no longer running the fire department anymore? Like, who is he really?
See, you must have seen these shows because I don't even know.
I have because I have ignorance who have watched this show, man, and you got to know your enemy.
No, I know. Look, this woman's been watching the Goldbergs nonstop, so now unfortunately.
Oh, come on, are you really going to compare that? Are you really going to compare that?
Yes, because
the kid talks like this, and everything he says, he's got his eyes wide open, and every habit of acting he does is like this.
It's fucking cartoon acting. It's the same.
Come on, you hate the way he acts, but you're gonna act like that whole show is garbage, man.
I won't. Look, the woman was like, "Why won't you like this? It has everything you like from back in the day in it. It's got all the things you specifically like." And I'm like,
even real reference to the stories that are being told in the episode.
I know. Every time I'm going in there, it's Rocky Horror, it's Cheers, it's Nightmare on Elm Street, it's Revenge of the Nerds. I don't care. I hate everybody except for the mother, father, and grandfather. They're okay. And that's only based on their merits outside of the show. The mother's fine enough, but every fucking buddy else on that show is obnoxious and just over the top, and I hate it.
But that's what the 80s was, man. And
might as well go on JET with that.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what the '80s was, and kids in those neighborhoods and whatnot, man, they were obnoxious. And they had obnoxious ass parents and smothers, man. I mean, look, the fact that he had those VHS tapes that he used to film and to show that this stuff really happened, I always felt like it was a nice touch to everything. It made the hilarity more real in the situation because it wasn't somebody just, you know what I'm saying, like maybe some of that stuff was blown up a little bit, but you would see some of the people that was referenced in those home videos, it was just crazy, man. It was just fucking crazy.
Maybe I'd
felt
like to show if they had a different cast, maybe.
But I just feel like, man, it was based on the '80s, man, and a lot of people were fucking obnoxious, man. I mean, a lot of people were obnoxious, man.
Yeah, but where's the people dressed like Jason Momoa in the new Minecraft movie? Where's their fucking fuchsia mixed colored jackets and shit?
What about him in Minecraft?
He's dressed straight out of the '80s, more like the people were in the '80s. I don't know.
Wasn't he like a stuck in his own fame former like musician or some shit like that?
He used to be an arcade champion.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. So there, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and no one, and you know what? And they're giving so much grace to this movie that no one's even talking about the fact that that they put a giant guy in to basically steal from little old fucking Master Blaster. You know what I'm saying? You know who I'm talking about.
Oh, I don't know. Which one's the little one?
They put this giant man to steal from little old Peter Dinklage. You know what I'm saying? As Master Blaster.
In what? Master Blaster?
Peter and Dinklage Pixels. And Pixels.
Oh.
I
don't know.
Fire the Master. Come on.
So I get what you're saying. I see him now. I'm looking at him. Yeah, he looks a little similar. But okay, so similar characters. But look, I don't know. I keep clicking on it to see if it's a good copy yet. And every time I click on a scene, it looks very funny. It looks just like Jared Hess's style. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm a fan of the director.
See, here it is. That man has so much presence that he carved himself out his own character. You know what I'm saying? Even as a little guy that no one even expected. And what did they do? They put a giant guy in there. You know what I'm saying? The fucking, you know what I'm saying? The fucking, I guess, duplicate him in a way.
I don't know. I think this is a case of lateral thinking because it's a logical jump to make if you're making the Minecraft movie. I mean, maybe he did see that character and based it off of that. Maybe like whatever, but I think that's what we do. We base characters off of other characters for the most part.
But they always, but the thing that I feel like is true. They said in conversation recently with the Snow White movies is that there's roles that they would look for a leading man or whatever, or you know what I'm saying, or a guy for that they wouldn't think about casting a little guy in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you have somebody like Peter Dinklage that can be creative and that can do shit and that can be a presence and that can pull off something like this. You know what I'm saying? Even in all this absurdity, like you want to, you know what I'm saying? Like you want to be able to give the respect to that, I feel like. And if there wasn't a reference, and if you can't tell me there's a reference to this guy that Jason Momoa was playing in the Minecraft movie, then I gotta call Steele. I gotta call Steele on this one. Anyone? Bueller?
Damn it, I went to get a coffee. Charles tuned out. Charles tuned out the second we said BET. He has a fucking filter on that the second BET's mentioned, he's out.
But seriously, Jim, I'm sitting here telling you, Jim, this thing could be on TV One, Bounce, OWN. I don't give a fuck, man. You know what I'm saying? Tyler Perry's content can be on any other network that's owned or seemingly run by a black person, and it would not be any different than what you would see on BET.
But let me ask you this question: would any of those other networks put that dribble on their network?
That's probably why him and Oprah fell out in the first place, because it was just getting too ridiculous. Maybe I don't know, but I mean, I'm just saying, like Like basically, there's no place that this content could be that's going to be better, and it's not made worse, or it's not bad simply because it's on this particular non-black entity or non-black network. You know, it's or non-black owned network or whatever. That's supposed to be a black. That's supposed to be.
Here's where I'll disagree, because in the film context, it's a bit more fleshed out, it's a bit more alive, and they do let those scenes breathe. So, and I think also the contrasting tones is what makes these cartoonish characters work in the films, because you first see him and like, I don't know what his name is. What's the little guy's name? The little fat man, the one who sets himself on fire in the grill. He's the star of one of the shows. Mr. Brown.
Okay.
Mr. Brown.
Yeah. Okay.
So Mr. Brown, the first time I ever saw him, I was enraged. I was like, this is the worst fucking, how dare they put this man on the screen, have him act this way, make people think they could act, like, just like that they should act this way, that it's anything close to real. But then as these characters breathe out, bam, as well. To a lesser extent. Now, who it doesn't is that one chick,
the one who talks like this.
She's never hit for me. I can never understand her. What is her name?
I don't know,
but
dude.
But
you're really getting intricate with these characters, bro. And I'm already telling you that I'm not a fan.
When you first see them, it's, to me, it was irksome. But then when you see them breathe, because the context is real, because these characters are going on with their bullshit, while you have some characters having some real melodrama. So if somebody were to fucking film these things and just put these characters in another frame, I think it would work, or could work. Not that it would work, but
what frame?
The sitcom not the sitcom.
No.
A dramedy frame, something closer to the movie where the characters breathe, spend more time with them, less cuts, you know what I'm saying? Less fucking shortcuts, short scenes, more long, introspective fucking scenes, and let that characters. Jared Hess, who directed the Minecraft movie, I think he would do a wonderful job directing these odd characters.
Oh no. Okay, no. Jim, let me help you out here. All right, because what you got to understand is,
are you mad that I didn't add in Jerusha Hess because they're a team?
No, I'm not. You're good. You're good. I'm saying any guy who's like I said, while you're talking about non-black entities, you're going to tell me a non-black entity is going to better direct and produce on these weird offshoot black entities better than
we're not talking,
a black man did.
Because it doesn't matter black entity, non-black entity in this part of the conversation, because we're talking about what sort of style of a director would work for these characters in a short form. So it doesn't matter. And plus, Hollywood has not allowed us almost any black filmmakers still in all of the history. As far as mainstream goes, as far as black Hollywood goes, there's plenty of black filmmakers. But in mainstream Hollywood, name one who's not Mario Van Peebles.
That's name one.
I'm sorry, who's not Melvin Van Peebles.
Name one what though?
African-American film director in the mainstream.
So you don't consider Ryan Coogler in the mainstream then?
I didn't even know he was black. I think of the kid from Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead when I see the name Ryan Coogler. I had no idea.
Who the hell's name was Coogler? Who the hell's name was Coogler in that movie?
He's Coogan. Whatever, the dishes are done, man. When I see the name Ryan Coogler, I picture some fucking stoner in the 90s. I had no idea that was a black man.
Yes, it was. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay, what movies has he made? Because I do know his
Black
name.
Panther, Wakanda Forever, and now Sinners.
Okay, well,
yeah, he's the guy that did the Black Panther movies.
Very new. Okay, all right. So we have one name.
John Singleton.
John Singleton. When's the last movie he's made?
Oh, the movie. Well, he did make Snowfall before he died.
All right, but you got to understand, there's 50 white directors at any time. There's 50 multinational directors at any time, Muslim, Chinese, all types of directors at any time in Hollywood's history. If you want to break it up into era, every 10 years, there's a new batch of non-black directors and film writers. There's only ever one, if one. Just like The Walking Dead, you gotta kill off the last black guy before you let the next black guy have a co-star role.
Oh, please trust me. They got their one black guy. The one guy that's actually British that always does his American sounding black guy is always
Morgan?
Like huh?
Morgan, you talking about?
Yes. Oh, that's their black guy. I mean, who's ever killed him off? For the replacement black guy.
I mean, he's still
exactly
great.
Because that's their black guy.
Look, don't even talk about what they did with that, because that goes into Fear the Walking Dead, and what a butchered fucking show. That show
he bled into that one. He bled into that one. He was still part of The Walking Dead, though, Jim. He bled into that one, though.
He did. He literally ran from one show to the next,
like a runaway slave, because that's how he sounds. That's how he's always like a runaway
slave. Well, technically, he was.
But see that, but he had the sound. And you know what though? Was he a runaway slave and Blade Runner 2049 when he was sounding like the way he was sounding?
I don't remember.
He was in there. He was in there in a small role. You hardly saw him, but you heard him sounding like a goddamn.
That's the other thing. They don't let American black people play the black roles. Almost every time, it's a fucking non-American black guy.
Well, I mean, that's Hollywood. That's Hollywood.
Very few are allowed in, and then the ones who are allowed in are either
Tyler Perry,
flaming homosexual, Tyler Perry, who's like a closeted homosexual, or he's a homosexual. That man puffs on peckers. There's no doubt in my mind.
I ain't defending one way or the other. I'm just saying I don't know. I'm just saying I don't know for sure. I'm not defending it. I'm not saying he's definitely not.
I'm going to say he probably doesn't, actually, because I've known many guys like him when I was a kid, and I wouldn't think they were homosexuals. He just seems like a straight-laced character, but there's certainly latent homosexuality in him he may not be aware of.
Or maybe what you feel like that is maybe a little bit too much of him leaning I'm saying, more towards his, toward female as far as like his content, because he does that. But one thing I want to break down, man, is that those characters you speak about, I don't go into their nuances. I just feel like overall, them along with Medea, they always on the fringes of the of these situations, and it's like they never take anything seriously about somebody, about these other deeper stories that are going on within their little their little play. They think it's all funny. Of course they do.
That's the whole monologue at the end. They take it non-seriously, let it build up, and then in the end, Medea or someone will sit down and tell it all in a no-nonsense way.
But it's more about what they need to do to get over the situation. Like they were over it, but see, they've lived their lives and they're old, and they wouldn't want somebody making a joke out of their lives when they were actively going through it and everything like that. It's just you have to understand. Like I said, in New York, I don't know how communities are. I'm sure I don't have a lot of experience with that, but around here, it's different, man. It's like communities are different, and when you have certain people and certain generations, they pass things down, bro. And it's like and sometimes a lot of black communities, they will pass down this like jealousness, this enviousness that somebody else is getting to live their life. And when they're going through shit, it's like they want to act like it's all a fucking joke until it isn't. And then they want to act like they're an authority. But how are you to be taken seriously when you had nothing good to say all the way up until this very fucking point? Like that destroys communities. That in the black community, that's what creates distances between the younger types and the older types, because the older types always think that everything that goes on with the younger types is a fucking joke. You know what I'm saying? And nothing's to be taken seriously. And then when bullshit and drama starts to happen and people start getting hurt, then that's when everybody's wrong and y'all out here acting crazy and y'all know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. But what the fuck are you telling people?
You're lesson that it's fun and games until it's not. It's all fun and games until someone loses an eye.
Okay, but that, you know what, that's all fun when we're in school and we're joking around, but when you got your parents, you know what I'm saying, that's talking bullshit, man, and then they want you to figure the world out based on their bullshit mentorship. But it's not, you know what I'm saying, it's not.
In the movie I just cited that I said dealt with the issue. She literally, your whole speech right now is almost exactly what he had her saying there. Because
exactly.
It was like pointing out at like, because everyone's kind of making fun of the gay kid the whole time because he's all flamboyant and weird. And she's, you know, Medea's in on it too. But at the end of it, it's like, hey, the kind of the point that really summed up as basic as possible is like, hey, you look like a fucking idiot. You need to understand you look like an idiot. But you people need to understand that's your fucking choice and that these things you say hurt and la 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 la. Like the whole fucking story, learn the lesson. I mean, it's a movie. You gotta show the problem. Like it has to unfurl before they can show the lesson.
No, but the ignorant people don't get to turn around and to become the authoritarians and tell everybody that they were wrong for what they were doing when they were actively participating in it, and there was no reckoning that made them feel any different. It's just that when some other people started to get affected and things started to happen, you know what I'm saying, outside of that, then all of a sudden it's now people need to be told how to act and what to do and how to honor this or honor that. It's bullshit, man. To me, it's all a bunch of bullshit. Like I feel like Tyler Perry just does not have a very good perspective. You know what I'm saying? That's why people think he's gay, because he takes a woman's perspective on black men because of how he was treated, because of how he alleges he was treated by his black father. You know what I'm saying? So and it's like his whole basis is simply on that and what he claims he's heard from other women about, you know what I'm saying, about how they were treated by men and everything like that, man. So that's why people often have that perspective on him as being gay. Now, some other people say they got more evidence on that, but whatever. I just think overall with Tyler Perry, I just think that he has a skewed perspective. I think that what he sees and what he's being told happening in black communities is happening in certain communities where it's kind of dysfunctional, man. That situation, people like that are dysfunctional. People like that cause people to move away from their family. Like, be honest with you. Let me be honest with you. You want to know the realest depiction of a family like a family in Madea movies and what they can really do to people? Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins.
Okay, I feel like I've seen this.
The movie with Martin, where he's a talk show host. He became like a therapist or whatever, a talk show host, and he went back to visit his family, but they're all clowning him. And the whole idea is that you're supposed to be laughing at him being treated this way and having all this bad luck on the way to visit his family and everything like that, because he's such a fake and a Hollywood phony. But then when you see his family, you realize they're a bunch of fucking jerks and brutes and slack-jawed idiots that did nothing but pick on him and make him feel like shit and an outcast in his own fucking family. So he went out there, team of me. Why did he become team of me? Because he always felt in his life that it was just him, not his brother, not his sister, not even on his phone, not even his own fucking cousin that lost his parents and needed a family could even see a way to love him, you know what I'm saying, in any kind of way that made him feel like fucking family. You know what I'm saying? And then they made fun of everything. And then as soon as he said something back to them, it's getting serious now. You're out of line. You know what I'm saying? And you need your ass whooped. So it's like that weird dichotomy of it, man. It's like that to me is like, and the pain that he felt, the distance that he put, you know what I'm saying, for years from his family, like that's a realistic effect of what a family and characters like Madea can do to a person. Seriously. That's not fake movie shit. That movie, Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins, that happens to a lot of black people in the black community that have families like Medea's family. Honestly, seriously.
I was gonna ask what happened to Malcolm D. Lee to prove my point, but look, it looks like he did do some big movies since that movie. Did even Space Jam, the new Space Jam he directed.
Yeah, but just saying, like I said, man, Tyler Perry, I gave him some shots. You know what I'm saying? I even feel like Peoples is a good movie. It's actually a good effort with no other characters and allowing and making good casting moves. You know what I'm saying? Like David Allen Greer, you know what I'm saying? At the time, you know what I'm saying? My man, Robinson, you know what I'm saying? I forget his fucking last name.
Craig Robinson.
Craig Robinson, yeah. And the
Peoples
other cast
was a good movie. Peoples was a reminder, because when you said Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins, I got the two confused, because there's also like a similar plot with the fiance Isn't there like the guy
No.
who comes home? Doesn't he have a fiance who's somewhat famous or something?
Nope. He's that movie was essentially like basically. Yeah, it was more. It was more like that. It was more like that. Except that they had put a little bit more of a spin on fucking on old girl's proclivity. She had a certain proclivity for older men because of her weird obsession over her father. You know what I'm saying? Everything like that. So they kind of put a little bit more of a thing on it. Tyler Perry, whoever, kind of put more of a little bit of a salaciousness thing on it. Like, not only was she kind of obsessed with her, was she kind of obsessively, like, weirdly close with her father, the way old girl was obsessed with Mr. Burns, but then it was like she also dated a lot of older guys.
Get out of town. Do you know who Malcolm D. Lee, the director of Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins, Soul Men, Scary Movie 5, The Best Man Holiday, Girls Trip, Night School, and Space Jam 2? Do you know who he is?
No, I don't.
He's Spike Lee's cousin.
Okay.
Had no fucking idea. The director of Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins, was Spike Lee's cousin.
Wow. I mean, but like I said, man, it's Hollywood. I mean, like, you know, people connections get you in, and you know,
it kind of goes back to my theory though, because he was literally, I was like, all right, well, Malcolm D. Lee proves me wrong in a way, because he has been doing big movies, but much like Ryan Coogler, maybe I just don't know. Because I don't think of the race of the director. I just read their fucking name. I don't think is this a Chinese.
But you can't honestly, but you can't honestly think that any director can just direct any. I mean, so a white, you feel like a white director could have easily directed Black Panther, and it would have went over. It wouldn't went over the same way.
Not Black Panther, but again, I didn't realize until I read just before the wiki on it. I didn't realize he was. I just knew I knew his name like prior to that. Yeah, I just never considered. I don't consider the race of the actor, and like unless their last name is Jenkins, then I might be like maybe.
Jim, seriously, bro.
You just said Roscoe Jenkins.
So Jenkins, what? That's the name of a movie. You're saying that unless the director's last name is Jenkins, you don't think he's black.
I'm saying I'm not considering.
Sorry. The only time, like every time I hear
that's not the same thing, Jim.
Every time I hear the name Jenkins, it makes me think of Leroy Jenkins from World of Warcraft.
Leroy Jenkins.
No. You guys probably don't know this because you're not in that world. But
no, I'm not.
But there was like
is he white? Is he green? Is Leroy Jenkins?
He's an orc.
No.
Purple orc.
No. There was something that happened years ago in World of Warcraft where there was these group of people that were trying to do like this like group event in the game, and they were planning out their strategy, and there was this guy who called himself Leroy who said that he had to go away to go do something. I think
he is white.
He had to go make some food. And as these guys were planning out their strategy, all of a sudden Leroy came back and he said, "All right, guys, let's do this." And then he screamed, "Leroy Jenkins." And then he ran in, pulled all the enemies, and the group was like, "Oh shit, he ran in." So they ran in after him to try to save his ass. And they, the guy who actually was Leroy Jenkins, he is white. He's not black. And they basically Leroy got his entire group killed. And this guy basically became a legend in Warcraft lore. And now, whenever somebody does a group event in the game, they scream Leroy Jenkins as like a battle cry.
And this is why I don't play World of Warcraft.
Yeah, it's really funny.
And this is why you shouldn't base race off of last names.
Yeah. Well, I said I don't. I was making a joke, all right?
And
all
the
right?
funny
thing I say is real.
And the funny thing is the food that he went to go make was fried chicken.
Now, Charles. Now, Charles. What did you just do?
Yeah, I know.
I can't believe I ran away to appease the woman for 2 seconds while you fucking fried chicken dust, you little jerk. You just dropped a 30, 45 minute conversation on a very good conversation on Hollywood's race use. I don't know how you want to call it. And you just dropped it all in a big old vat of oil and said fried chicken.
Jesus. I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
He's just a boy from Kentucky. He might get lucky.
Yeah, Charles, I would seriously suggest editing that bad boy a little bit. It's just saying.
No, that's literally what happened. But it's just
I know that's why I say I would seriously suggest editing it. I didn't say it didn't happen. I would just seriously suggest editing it a little bit.
Nice going, Charles. Didn't take long for this to go full racist.
You can look at it.
We lost Damien forever.
I'm gonna send you the video. I'm gonna send you the video because thankfully somebody recorded this entire thing and it is hilarious.
No, I'll be waiting.
Yeah, of course. You're just gonna be waiting with bated breath.
I'll be baiting while waiting and holding my breath because it's like autoerotic asphyxiation without the danger.
Everybody get your belts ready.
Did you ever jerk off with a belt on your neck, Charles?
And age restricted.
No, I don't think so. We're past the 20-minute mark. Well, nobody is saying to do that. We're just speaking news about those dumb people who have done it. It's very, very bad to do. Although holding your breath is nice. Leroy Jenkins was not in Final Destination.
No, he wasn't because he's not an actor.
Intestines. Maybe if we're real lucky, we can see him get chopped up and real yucky.
All right, I posted it in the Telegram.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm very excited to look. Oh my God. Okay, that's me. I'm like, why is it Pauly Shore in a dress? It's just a video I shared with Damien earlier.
I mean, that doesn't that track with Pauly Shore's like personality?
Well, he's singing "Criminal" by Fiona Apple. Apparently, he's got a thing. Sorry, I'm trying to see where we are in this video. I don't want to play the full 3 minutes. When does he say Leroy Jenkins? I got it.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I will share Leroy Jenkins. Share screen. Share Leroy. Share. Open. They've got to make this better. Somehow, StreamYards, who charges $45 a month, somehow fucking StreamYards needs to make it better to share your screens. I've got to fucking go off screen to share a screen. I've got to fucking do it in like 3 or 4 steps. They need to figure out how it can be done in one. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Percentage of survival. Oh, it's a lot better than we usually do. All right, thumbs up. Ready, guys? Let's do this.
But
oh my God, he just ran in.
Wow.
Save him. Oh, geez, stick to the plane. Oh, Jesus. Let's go.
Oh, God.
Oh, gee. Oh, fuck. divine intervention. Hurry up.
And now chaos ensues.
Jesus Christ
What
in
the hell?
hell.
I can't hear you.
That was like
Oh my
the
God.
weakest battle cry I've ever
That's
heard
a
in
lot
my
better than
life.
we usually do.
Yeah, and because of that,
ready, guys?
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
I hate that. I hated that so much. Felt like it went inside of me.
oh my god. Oh, that shit is hilarious.
You know what they say about potatoes and tomatoes, you know?
I mean, potato, tomato?
They both fit in your butt.
Sure.
I mean, theoretically speaking.
I mean, sure, if you're brave enough, anything could be a butt plug.
If Richard Gere can fit the entire Joseph Goebbels, fucking Nazi prime minister of propaganda or whatever he were, up his anus, a potato and a tomato would have no problem.
Yes.
Slide right in.
I really want to see that movie.
Dirty movie?
Yep.
Oh, you should. I think pretty sure it's free on YouTube.
I could probably find it.
It's just there is a narrative, but the narrative isn't necessarily important. You know what I mean? It's just
yeah.
But it's crazy how they strung it together so well. Like they really, man, it's just the most basic, stupid jokes you may have told your friends when you were a kid, just retold with visuals and strung together.
What I'm mostly interested in is seeing Christopher Maloney in the movie.
Well, that's why he left. He left CSI to do this movie, essentially.
SVU.
Or SVU to do this movie. He wanted, that's what he started out as, a character comedy actor. So like that's why he went from this, then he did that weird bunny show. He was went into the Wet Hot American Summer films. He was really trying to be who he wants to be instead of this SVU character, but of course that didn't work out. Nobody wanted him, even though I think he's phenomenal as a comedy character actor. They didn't want him. So he's back on SVU now. Well, on his own version, but Criminal Intent is called, I think. I don't know.
No, he's on Organized Crime.
Yes, Organized Crime.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, look, you can't get better than that. Take that fucking character and stick him against the mafia. I mean, it sounds like a great story, but I haven't bothered yet.
The show with the weird like imaginary friend thing that he did, it was
Happy.
called It was called
Just
Happy.
remembered.
Yeah, it was called
As soon as
Happy.
you brought it back up.
Which I watched both seasons of the show and I loved it. And I thought that the show getting canceled was terrible. I was really hoping that the show would continue.
I watched season 1. I really enjoyed it. Then a while later, I went back for season 2, and I think it felt like it was different or something.
It was. They tried to get a little more supernatural in the show in season 2 because the main mob boss character got possessed by some kind of demon, and I thought that was a little weird.
Yeah, I don't even remember that. I just remember the whole show seeming different when I came back to watch it, and I was like,
season 2 was much different compared to the first season. Yeah, it was much different.
And did I mention Maloney is not in the second Dirty movie? He's not in the sequel.
He's not. Okay.
No, but it does have some of the people in it. I don't remember who.
Okay. Well, I mean,
dirtier movie.
You can't expect the actor to be in all of the movies. I mean, maybe they didn't want to come back. Maybe they weren't offered enough money. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why they might not be wanting to come back. I mean, hell, even scheduling conflict could be a problem.
It's called Another Dirty Movie.
Another Dirty Movie. Okay.
Oh, no shit. It's directed by Jonathan Silverman. I didn't realize that.
Who is that?
Let's see. What would you have known him from? Weekend at Bernie's.
Okay, I am familiar with that movie.
Brighton Beach Memoirs.
Not that one.
That's a great movie when I was a kid. I haven't seen it since then, so I don't know. But Benchwarmers 2, Breaking Balls.
I knew about the first Benchwarmers, but I didn't know they did a sequel.
Yeah, I believe it had the full cast. Nope, completely new cast, it seems. So maybe I never even saw this one. Maybe I'll have to go back and watch it. Yeah, Jonathan Silverman's an 80s actor. A lot of people know who he is. And again, he's the guy from Weekend at Bernie's. He's not the dead guy. He's one of the two guys. Not Andrew McCarthy, the other guy.
Okay, his name is Jonathan Silverman?
Yeah. You'll know him when you see him. He had a TV series in the 90s called The Single Guy. Let's see, what else was he on? Wow, he really didn't do much, considering how big he was. Oh, he was the star of Caddyshack 2. I remember that. Huh. That's about it. But he directed another dirty movie. I don't know if he directed the first one. I'm going to look into that right now.
Doesn't look like it.
Dirty movie. No, he did not direct the first one. Christopher Maloney did. Okay, so the second movie is about people going out to do a movie dedicated to the character Christopher Maloney played in Dirty Movie.
Okay.
So there's that connection.
So the first one's called Dirty Movie?
Yeah, and the second one is another dirty movie.
All right, so Dirty Movie was directed by two people. It was directed by Jerry Daigle and Christopher Maloney.
Dago is a racist word.
That's literally what his name is.
Well, I'm just saying. And then Alan Dons and Tanner Colby wrote the first movie. Alan Dons and John Claft wrote the second movie. So at least you got one of the writers back. So that's a good sign. I'm definitely going to have to watch this at some point. Yeah. I don't know why I haven't yet, honestly. I think I turned it on once and it looked like shit and I just shut it off. I was like, this is not, how dare you fucking call yourself another dirty movie? But it's been a while. It's been long enough. I think I can forgive it.
All right, so his name in Dirty Movie is literally the producer.
Yes and no. His name is Charlie LaRue. Like, I guess they bill him as the producer, but his name is Charlie LaRue.
Oh, okay.
Mario Cantone plays the director. Look, I can't tell you how much of a treat it was for me watching Mario Cantone in this movie being all fucking weird, because I'm from Jersey, and if you're from New Jersey, you know Mario Cantone. I don't know about the rest of the world. I'm looking for it now, and I do not see any fucking, I don't even see his fucking, am I fucking wrong? No, Mario Cantone. Where the fuck is it? He's from some goddamn kids show. But I don't see it anywhere in his fucking credits. That's bothering me. I'm feeling Mandela affected right now. Yeah, Steam Pipe Alley. It was from WWOR, which was a local channel in Secaucus, New Jersey. So you grew up in New Jersey. Mario Cantone was like this flamboyantly gay children's host, fucking back in the 80s, and Steam Pipe Alley. If you think about it, what an entendre, I guess. But Apparently, he went by the name of Don Pardon Mio. Oh, no, that was the announcer. Fine. Okay. Yeah. That's it. We play old Looney Tunes cartoons and shit during it. It was a cool show when you were a kid.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's like seeing Mr. Rogers in a raunchy movie, is my point. You know, he was a kids show host. We are an hour and a half past Stone's leaving time, and Damien never returned.
Yeah, I think it's time to call it.
So, Final Destination, to sum up the franchise, everybody dies.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's
like in the entirety of the franchise, not a up until the newest movie that has yet to come out, because we don't know if anybody survives in that one yet. But in all the other movies, not a single person lives, except for one so far, and that's Bloodworth.
There you go.
Yep, Bloodworth is the only one that ever has a chance to live.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was your Final Destination franchise discussion.
Yep. So, anywho, everyone, I'd like to thank you for showing up for our rendition of the Final Destination discussion, which ended up evolving or devolving into a shenanigans episode, which, I mean, is to be expected. So thanks for stopping by, and we will see you next week for our discussion, I hope, for you. There are so many jokes that we could do with that.
Like, I know you are, but what am I? Like that, right?
Hey.
No. Hey. I'm talking about innuendo jokes.
I don't mean to be an ass here.
Yeah.
But aren't shenanigans supposed to be shorter?
No, that's what you just came in at the ending. So
we're ending this now. Well, I didn't know when you were coming back, so I was just gonna call it.
Because I was coming back. I just like I said, thought shenanigans was gonna be shorter. Like I said, I got a couple hours left until I got this concert or thing, this outside concert to go to.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
But yeah, really good. Like I said, I really want to tone it down, or else I'm going to want to talk about you. I'm going to want to say some more about you, for real, because I just really, the critically acclaimed show from Netflix,
Yes, that one. We have to specify that, otherwise certain people will get confused.
But I would just like to discuss, because there's so much more than just that I would like to discuss, and it's just. By the way, they tried their best to try to make Kate look a little more like, like Scully, but it just wasn't working. I mean,
she was Scully from X-Files?
Yes. They were trying that whole pale, like, very cool mystique aesthetic that they were trying to get it, but they were trying to make her up a little bit more, trying to feminize her a little bit more, because at first she was really like a stereotype of what like a British executive, or a female British executive would look like when she was there before, when she first started on the critically acclaimed show from Netflix, she was basically just a caricature of that. Very just, very just cold and drawn in, and just very, there's very no real attempt to be attractive, just like a handsome man, at first. And it's like they tried to feminize her a little bit and everything like that. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, there were some things that were good, but there were some things that where I just felt like it was like the last season, and they were letting some things go. I felt like that. I felt like that ending was. I felt like the ending was a little bit simple yet convoluted for what all this was. I'm just gonna say it.
Well, there's your preview for next week's discussion of you here on TEE TV.
Okay then.
Yeah, that, like I said, a lot more greater moments than not, but there were some things that were nagging at me. So yeah, that's it.
All right.
Theme song. Here it goes.
I can't activate the theme song because we are free.
Well, here you go. Is it this? Oh, it's not this one, is it? There you go.
Billions fly.